All right, let's see here. Let's see what kind of nonsense we got going today. All right. Okay.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you. What a friendly group this is. No Democrats are here, right? Well, I want to thank everybody. This has been a labor of love. You know, we took over a building that was not
Jesus.
properly taken care of. It just wasn't. It's a very special building, and we
Yeah,
are taking
destroying a
care of it.
historic
This was
structure.
grass,
That's
and
what you're doing.
when you have a news conference, and this was going on for many years, but everybody would just sink into the mud. It was extremely luxurious grass, especially when it was raining, because
Oh
you'd go
God,
back,
he
you'd
only
go
just
down
learned
about
what
five
grass
inches
was
into the
to
mud.
like at all.
And when we had a press
Hello,
conference here, all
Drizella.
the
Hello,
press
Drizella.
standing back there, they'd be
I
cursing
only,
me. The
I
women would be
just went
lifting up
live
their
here.
shoes, saying,
Hello,
"You've destroyed my
John.
shoes. This
Hello,
is
John
terrible."
Haslip.
So we
Folks, I just started this. This is a little behind him where he when he started talking, so it's not fully live anymore. But that's why I started
got a
immediately
stone that's the exact
because he
same
went
stone
live.
and color as the White House itself, because we wanted the
Hello, guys.
friendly feeling of that light color, and it
Oh, okay.
reflects
Was
the
that
sun and it
revealing
keeps you
the
cool
friendly
even in the
feeling of
summer.
that light color?
And we've
Also,
had
how
press
he views skin
conferences.
color,
We
by the
finished
way.
it about a month ago. This is, as you see over here, the
Thank you,
Presidential
John.
Walk of Fame. And we had this long wall with half windows because that used to be a swimming pool on the other side of the wall. That was
Welcome,
the swimming
comrade John.
pool
I
where
know how it goes.
Jackie would say,
Love
"I
my
hear
fellow
women
teachers.
inside." Are women inside? Quite a famous, I'm not saying anything, this was a part of a movie. And the Secret Service said,
God,
"No, ma'am, there's no women inside, ma'am. I'm sorry, ma'am, you're going
I
to have to
know,
move along."
Louise.
But I hear women inside. "No, ma'am, you'll have to move along, ma'am." So that was the famous swimming pool. Now it's even worse. It's for the media. They covered the pool up. They
Here
covered
we
the pool
go.
up, and now it's for the media. And I think we have a small representative group. I don't think they allowed the rest of them. I can't believe it. What happened? They're all on the other side of the wall. Can you believe it? Because this is supposed to be sort of a private event. And there is no such thing in politics as a private event. Lindsey, you learned that a long time ago, right? The great Lindsey Graham doing
Hello,
fantastic.
Lee.
You're up 34 points, Lindsey. That's not bad, I'll tell you. It's not bad.
I don't know, Drusilla.
So we did the Presidential Walk of Fame from the great George Washington all the way to
Folks, we're a little bit behind. As in this, he actually just stopped speaking a little bit ago. So this is not live anymore. This is like from a few minutes ago. I know I'm pausing it, but I can because given that it's not live at the moment. It was from like, I don't know, maybe 5, 10 minutes ago. I decided just to start streaming so we can watch this together. I'm kind of working on stuff in the background, so please, still getting ready for the stream, but we'll watch it and listen, and we'll do commentary, etc.
well, I think we have to rate him above me. So less than great, less than George. Somebody went up there.
I
They
don't
say
know RPB
you're the third best president in the United. This was on
corruption.
television. Third best, and they said, "Who are the first two?" George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. And I got extremely angry at this man. You know, you can't. It's going to be tough to beat, Mr. Senator. It's going to be, John. It's going to be very tough to beat Washington and Lincoln, but we're going to give it a try, right? Hey,
Oh
they
my
didn't put
God.
out 8 wars, 9 coming. All right, we put out 8 wars,
Oh
and the
God.
ninth is
Okay.
coming. Believe it or
I'm
not.
right, Drusilla. Oh, we put out 8 wars, 9 incoming. I'm the best president the
I
world
just
will
want to
ever
say it's
have.
great to
Right,
be with
Matt
you.
Side
And,
guy.
when we're finished later on, we're gonna have a little quick
Oh, I
lunch.
know,
and they
John.
do great food at the White House, and this is used sometimes for evening where we've
So
had
true,
some
Maxime.
incredible people for the evening, and some of the big foreign leaders have been coming. And most excitingly, on the other side, you see the fence and the wall. We're building a world-class ballroom. You know, for 150 years.
Yeah, like the Palace of
They've
Versailles.
wanted
We
a
know what
ballroom
happened
here.
there.
We don't have a ballroom. We have a little cocktail area,
Yep,
but we don't have a
John.
ballroom.
Yep.
The East Room, it's called,
Which
is
we'll be
a very
talking about
small,
after this, because
cocktail
that's
area. It
falling
holds
apart.
about 88
Hello,
people
SoCal.
if it's tight. And I said, if I do this again, I'm going to get a ballroom built, and we're putting up our own money with the government is paying for nothing. You probably hear the beautiful sound of construction to the back. You hear that sound? Oh, That's music to my ears. I
Oh,
love that
please
sound.
don't
Other people
simulate a
don't like it. I
climax.
love it,
That's just
Josh.
disgusting.
I
I
think when
don't
I hear
want to
that
think about
sound,
that.
it reminds me
Right,
of money.
RPB.
In this case, it
Correct,
reminds me of
Louise.
lack of money because I'm paying for it.
Right,
So it's
Drusilla.
the opposite. But it's going to be one of the most beautiful ballrooms anywhere in the world, and it's going to be able to take care of tremendous things. When you have, as an example, I'm going to see President Xi in 2 weeks. I'm going over to South Korea. We're going to meet in South Korea. We're going to talk about a lot of things. They want to discuss the fact that they're paying 157% tariff.
Right, Matt
It's a
Zaga.
little higher than they thought. And we're doing very well. I think we're going to do well in that negotiation. We've done well, as you know, with Japan, with South Korea, with Europe. The European
have you?
nations got together. We made a deal. And it was all based without the tariffs. You could have never made the deal. I'll tell you what, tariffs equal national security. Remember that. Tariffs equal national security. You got to remember that. And they also equal
Right,
wealth
Brazil.
for our nation because we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars in a very friendly manner, given to us by nations that used to take it from us. And they used tariffs on us. We never used it on them because we were foolish. Or we were led by people that weren't business people. But
Still eating
it
breakfast
really
too,
does.
by the
It
way,
equals
folks, so
national
forgive me.
security. And I wouldn't have put out, I mentioned 8 wars, 9 coming. Of the 8, 5 were based solely on trade and tariffs. India, Pakistan were going at it. 2 nuclear powers, and serious nuclear. 7 planes shot down.
Right,
They were
boys.
ready to go, and I called them up. I said, you go to war, and we're not doing a trade deal. And they said, well, what does one thing have to do with the other? I said, it has a
It
lot.
really
You have
does,
nuclear
RPB.
powers.
Kind
And
of
if you
gross.
do
You should
it,
get a
we're not
room
doing a
whenever he
trade
talks
deal.
about tariffs.
And
Hope he brings
24 hours
condoms.
later, they called me. We have decided not to do it. We stopped the war. We stopped the potential disaster, a nuclear disaster, because of trade. And it's been really amazing. But the tariffs
Oh my
have
God,
made us a
Victoria,
wealthy
that
country.
is so hot.
They've given us
Okay,
tremendous
I would love
defense.
to see
They've
that
given us
video
things that we can do for other
Lula.
countries.
Lula,
Very
I'm sorry,
positive.
Lula,
But again,
okay.
really, it's
Gotta love
national
Lula.
security, it's national defense, and they are so important. And it's incredible that presidents, for the most part, didn't know how to use them, when to use them. If you go back, you'll see some
it's
of the
disgusting.
presidents that were the most successful were believers in tariffs.
God, shut
and I even
up.
see foreign countries now that we are doing very well with taking ads. Don't go with tariffs.
By the way, the last time the White House was destroyed at this scale was during the War of 1812 when the redcoats of the British Army burned down the White House. So Donald Trump has managed to do more damage to the White House. The last time that much damage was done to the White House was during a war in 1812.
To taking ads. I saw an ad last night from Canada. If I was Canada, I'd take that same ad also. But they're actually on television taking ads. But I do believe that everybody's too smart for that. We have a very, very big and important case coming up. We should win the case based on the legal merit. We should also win the case based on all of the things I just said. But we're a wealthy country again. Last week, as you know, they found $31 billion. They came to see me,
You'd
sir.
think, Drusilla. You'd think.
We found $31 billion. They said, we don't know
Oh my
why.
God, you're right
I said,
next
was
to
this
me.
a good
Someone should
find
get
or a
him
bad
a
find? It
gold,
was a good find.
pacifier.
It was a plus 31. We're used to finding negative 31s, right, for the last 30
SoCal,
years.
hey,
I said, check
You said it
the
first,
tariff
SoCal.
shelf. Well, those tariffs haven't kicked in. Yes, they did. They kicked in 2
I
months
will
ago.
say arsenic is
Check
kind
it.
of
He
a
comes back
slow-acting
2 hours
poison.
later.
Anyway.
Sir, you were right. We have an additional $31 billion, billion, not
right,
million,
RPB.
Lindsay, billion, that we just found from tariffs. They kicked in earlier than we thought. You were right. We're a wealthy nation again, and we're a nation that can be secure. We're a nation that can start paying down our debt. And with tariffs, we're the wealthiest nation
Can you, after all those
ever
tax
in
cuts
the
for the
history
rich?
of
Can
the
you?
world. Without them, we've got to slog. We've got to slog. But remember this, other nations, including China, Japan, European nations, they used tariffs against us for many years. That's why we owe $37 trillion. That's why.
Nope,
but they
that's not
used
why.
tariffs very successfully against us, and we had presidents that never fought it. But now you have a president that does fight it. So
All right, SoCal.
I just want to welcome you to the incredible Rose Garden. It's just
Drusilla.
an incredible place.
No, you're right.
It was,
Okay.
We did it, brought it back to health. It was in very bad shape, actually, and we brought it back to health. First Lady
Drusilla.
Melania did a
I actually typically say we're either the first or second wealthiest in history. We might be the second now. It's irrelevant though, because only a small portion of the population owns all that wealth in the United States. We do have a lot of debt, Drusilla. I guess I'm talking about what is uh what is it called? A GDP. I'm pretty sure we were pretty high up there for a while. But yeah, it's more of a yeah. So we have been very wealthy as a country, but again, very few people actually have that wealth in the United States.
Fantastic job on it. The surrounds and everything. It's all brand new wiring. You know, underneath there's a lot of wire, a lot of things. Everything brand new,
It
everything
is, Matt
beautiful.
Saigai, you're right.
The only thing we did is we had to get a hard surface here because nobody could use it because of the grass. So I just want to welcome you, and I hope you're going to be here a lot. We're going to use it for meetings. We're going to use it for press
And how dare you, Drusilla, for making me be more nuanced about my statement there, okay?
conferences. Now
Yeah,
we can use
Drusilla.
it. It was
So,
unusable
yeah, you're right, Drusilla. So I'm not talking about the national debt. I'm talking about like the economic production of the country. That being said, even now, we're probably not. I don't think we're number one. I'd have to look. I don't think we're number one anymore. But it is true that for a long time we were either the first or second wealthiest in terms of GDP in the world. But folks, I'm using that to make a point. I'm trying to say that we have enough money to provide for our own citizens. But yeah.
before, and now we can use it. But everything that you see was redone. All of this was redone, and the whole White House is being redone. Some of you came through they call the Rose Hall. They call it different names, but you probably noticed. I don't know if you came through this door. Did you notice the white marble floor?
Hey, Demosthenes.
That was put there. That was made out of Home Depot tiles, about 1 foot by 1 foot. They were all broken, about 30 years old. And I replaced it with book-matched marble, paid for by your friend, President Trump. It's like, it's amazing how people like it when you say you paid for it. When I say I paid for it, they say, oh, I love it. But they did a beautiful job. They're great talents. They're very talented marble people I have. And they replaced it with
he did,
beautiful
Drusilla. He destroyed the rose garden and turned it into a concrete slab.
And statuary marble, and it's really, really beautiful. I want to thank the outstanding leadership team, and you really do have that. Majority Leader John Thune, who's been my friend. He really, really has done an amazing job. Thank you, John. Thank you. Done an amazing job. I didn't get to know John as well in the first term, and I've gotten to know him very well over the last 9 months, John, and you're doing a fantastic job. Thank you very much. Really great. Majority Whip John Barrasso, who's outstanding man. Thank you, John. Thank you. Great guy, too. Conference Chair Tom Cotton. He loves that military. He loves the he loves the military.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Policy Committee Chair Shelley Moore Capito. Shelley, thank you very much, Shelley.
Yeah, poor John.
Vice Chair James Langford. Very good. James, thank you. And we have everybody but one person here.
Why is his voice cracking?
Everybody showed up.
Puberty all over again?
I figured you'd have I'd say 40 would have been a good number, right? We have everybody. We're just missing one person. You'll never guess who that is. Let me give you, he automatically votes no on everything. He thinks it's good politics. It's really not good politics. He's an automatic no. But I don't know. Look, if he wanted to come, I'd probably let him come. Right?
Yes, you are,
let
Doug.
him come. Begrudgingly, but would let him come. And National Republican Senatorial Committee Chair, an unbelievable guy, Tim Scott. Tim, I shouldn't say it because I don't know if it's good or bad. But Tim ran, and he was very effective and very good. But he was on the debate stage and everything else. He was good just because he's good. But he wasn't as good as I thought he was. And when he got out of the race, he endorsed me almost immediately. And I used him as a surrogate. And I wasn't sure if I should because, sometimes I want a total lunatic to get up and fight for me. And
right,
Tim
RPD?
Tim is a really good person. So I wasn't sure. And I put him on the stage, and he ripped the heart out of everybody. He was so brutal. He was so unbelievable. It turned out to be absolutely one of my best surrogates.
I think so, Cal.
A lot of you people
I can't remember.
You were all surrogates. But Tim ripped these people apart. And after watching 2 or 3 times,
Doug,
then
I
I
know.
wanted him all the time, right, Susie? I said, I want Tim Scott, get up there. But he was so...
Susie Wiles being his chief of staff, and she's a horrific person, but she's also brilliant, like in a scary way. She's a really good chief of staff, which is disturbing because she's kind of a lunatic. And Tim, she's really good at helping Trump get stuff done he wants to get done. Also, I mentioned earlier, folks, I think I would say that the last time the White House was this destroyed was during the War of 1812 when the British actually entered the White House, the British army, military, and they burned it down. If we view what Trump is doing as a destruction of a historic White House property, the last time it was this destroyed would have been the War of 1812. Yeah, as a historian, I'm just driven crazy by how he's destroying a huge chunk of the White House. I know.
good. And I said to him, Tim, when you fought for yourself, you were much different. When you fought for me, you were a tiger. You were like unstoppable. You were, really was. You all saw that. What's the difference? He said, I've never liked selling myself, and I love selling somebody that I really do believe in. I really believe in you, and I just felt that way. And it was so nice the way he expressed it. And I want to tell you, you are a champion.
RPB.
You are a
Very
winner,
luckily.
and congratulations. Thank you very much. I never love telling that story because I'm not sure if it's a good or a bad story, but I'm telling you, you are an amazing guy.
No, Doug,
and you
I
fought
agree.
for me so hard, and I really appreciate it. You got to be my #1 choice, Tim. So something happened. I appreciate it. And you're doing great doing what you're doing right now. I also want to thank the entire Senate
folks,
Republican
if we
Conference
get
for
one
your tremendous
super
work
chat,
on
Jester hat,
confirmations. Boy, did we have a
free
couple of weeks.
Jester collar. 5
we had
makeup.
some, I signed like 150 of them, and I didn't use
That
an auto
includes
pen, by the
contributions
way.
over
I
on
signed-
Twitch.
You know, when you're signing these important, like a general getting approved from 3-star to 4-star,
I
and
don't
all
know,
of these
Fox
different
Emblem. It's
things,
just
and
the
big
ramblings of a madman.
confirmations,
And that's
you know,
an
big
insult
stuff.
to madmen.
You really have an obligation to actually sign it, I think. You probably noticed right there, number 46, we put up, right? We put up a little bit of an auto pen. We have 46. We have 45. We have 47. It's very interesting. Yeah, 46 is
what are
an
you
auto
referring
pen.
to,
It's
Matt
up there.
Saigai?
It stays up
I know
there.
androgen
People
insensitivity
like it. It's probably going to
syndrome.
stay up there for a long time. It's true. And I know you're looking into that. And by the way, the auto pen person said he never spoke to Biden. He worked the auto pen. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to do
totally,
that. So
Alan,
if you're looking
totally.
at anything, just remember it. And remember, they treated us very badly. They treated us very, very badly. So I think you're allowed to just report the truth, including the confirming of my cabinet much faster than first time. I mean, we went so fast, and I give John Thune and all of you credit for that. It was amazing. All of a sudden, I was calling John, I've got to get him approved. Come on, John, because I was getting like one every 2 weeks. And you know, I had people, they left their job and they left everything, and it looked like they were, all of a sudden, it was like an avalanche. They walked in, James and James, my double James, I call them. They walk in, and they had like so many of them. I said, you got to be kidding. Is this like, are you for real, right, James? John Thune did his job, and you got them all done, and you have all those people out there working now, and instead of being very upset.
Oh,
with the fact
Drusilla,
that
he
we
has
couldn't
not
get him
yet.
approved quickly. So
I'm going to send him a
appreciate
message on
it. You
Discord.
used a method that I wish
I
you could
sent like
use
a comment on
US
one of his
attorneys.
videos,
You
but
know,
I'll
I
send him
have
a message
10
on Discord.
U.S. attorneys
Please
who
like the stream, folks, if you haven't already.
Phenomenal. A Harvard, a Yale, a this, a that, all top. And the problem is they're
Right,
not
Maxime?
going to ever be confirmed, I guess. I put them in. They'll be there for 3 or 4 months, whatever, and then they have to leave.
Oh, my God. What is he talking
Anytime
about?
you have, as you know, anytime you have a Democrat senator, not
Alan,
even
no,
two,
you're
just
totally
one,
right. Like, the Democrats have
they'll
no
say
excuse.
because of the time we're in, we're not approving that person. We're not approving. They never do. They won't approve. And therefore, because of blue slip,
SoCal, from personal
to tell the
experience, I can
person
tell you,
after
kindergarten, that's
3
an
months,
insult to kindergartners. They
you'll
at
have
least
to
can.
leave, and I put somebody else in.
Uh,
And I've had Democrat senators say the only one we'll ever
for
approve
Drusilla,
is a
maybe
Democrat.
I
This is
didn't
not
see it. I'll take a look,
constitutional.
Drusilla. Thank you.
And you really,
Maybe I
hope
missed
you
it.
can look at that blue slip thing, because I have 10 people that are phenomenal, and they're going to have to leave office. Highly educated, top of their class, everything, and they're going to have a mark on their career that They were
Thank
a
you,
U.S. attorney for
Maxim.
three
Okay,
months or
thank you,
four
Maxim. I'll
months,
try
and
to
then
get
they
that
had to
better. Thank
leave.
you, Maxim.
And that's so unfair. It's unfair to the public because the
Right,
public
Louise.
voted for me in a landslide, and I'm supposed to be picking
Oh,
the
oh
U.S.
my God,
attorneys.
I'm
And
gonna
this
lose
goes
my
for
goddamn
judges
mind.
also. But actually, more so even for the U.S. attorney with the blue slip. So I have these phenomenal people, many of them young, but truly
Right,
fantastic
SoCal.
people, and they're wondering what's going to happen in another 3, 4, 5 weeks. They're going to have to leave office. I think it's a shame, and I hope you can do something about it, because I'd like to tell
I'll
those
do
people,
better, Maxim, I swear.
we put you there, and you're not going to have on your resume for the rest of your life, you were there for 4 weeks or 6 weeks, and you left like you got canned. So I hope you look at that. Very important. And after your pivotal changes to the Senate rules last month, as a result, this is what you did, the unprecedented obstruction by the Democrats. We've confirmed more than
Unprecedented.
175 public servants, people that are phenomenal, to keep posts. And that's just been over the last couple of weeks. It's an unbelievable thing what you've done, John, all of you together. So working closely with me and House majority, the Republican Senate also gave us the largest working class tax cut in American
Druzilla, I'm
history.
excited. Maybe I just
And
missed
you
his
passed
response.
the
I'll
Laken
definitely
Riley
go right
Act to
after
throw
this
illegal
and go find it.
alien criminals out of our country. You passed the Genius Act and
Right,
the
Druzilla?
Take It Down Act with the support of our wonderful First Lady. By the way, she got actual support from the other side. It was bipartisan.
Come on, folks. Come on. I need the jester
I
hat
think
for
Rand
this.
didn't
Like I,
vote for
I
it
feel,
again.
I feel like the jester hat is necessary for when
I
Trump
think
is
it was only
talking.
Rand. You had bipartisan support other than
I could just put it
maybe
on
Rand.
technically,
But
but I'm
another
being
one I'm going
an
to ask
asshole
you
by
to
not.
vote for, and it's in the House now, and I hear it's doing well in the House, James. It's Kate's Law. A
Druzilla.
young lady named Kate Steinle. I remember it so well.
Right,
probably
Meowsord. We need
8 or
definitely
10
more
years
witches.
ago now in San Francisco. She was holding hands with her father on the San Francisco pier, looking out into the water. It's beautiful. Everything was beautiful, but the person wasn't beautiful that did this. And this was an illegal alien that came into our country 5 times, was thrown out 4 or 5 times. They don't even know, but a lot.
Right,
And
SoCal.
came back and shot her through
Right,
the
Dex.
head.
It's like, what is he even saying,
And she
Dex?
went down and she looked at her father, Daddy, Daddy, something happened, something happened. And she immediately passed away in his arm. And, I mean, you can imagine, it was so sad, such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful person. Father was destroyed, virtually destroyed. And they they wanted to pass what they call Kate's Law, and it's now again in Congress, and I hear we're going to get it passed in Congress.
I don't know,
and
Druzilla.
When it gets up to the Senate, I hope you guys can pass it. And basically, very simply, it says that if you're an illegal alien and you come in and you get thrown out,
Thank
if
you,
come back
Meowsord.
and
Thank
get
you so
caught,
much, Meowsord.
you have
Okay,
to spend
jester
10
hat.
years
This
in
is
jail.
better.
Very simple.
Thank you,
Very
thank you.
simple. If they would
We
have
need
had
the
that,
damn
Kate
jester hat
Steinle
for
would be
this.
alive today. That was a big event at the time. If you remember Bill O'Reilly,
All right.
for those of you that like Bill, I think I like Bill, but he was the
Yeah,
one.
folks, like the stream, please.
He devoted his life to that law, trying to get it passed. I think it's time that we pass it, so that if you
Totally
get
RP,
taken out of the
RBP.
country and you come back illegally, knowing that this law is in existence, you go to jail for a 10-year period, and it's going to keep the repeat
His
offenders
kind of
from coming in.
masculinity
It's
is the
gonna
kind
really
of
keep 'em from
masculinity
coming
our
in.
fathers
Senate
warned us
Republicans
about.
have already
Right?
voted 11 times to get our government back and open for business. We have record business.
Oh,
We're
absolutely.
going to be, I
Fox
think,
Envelope.
by
It
the
does
time
reek
I
of
had
the Nuremberg
I hit
laws.
month number 12, I think we're going to have $20 trillion of investment. We're over 17 right now. As an example, President Biden had less than $1 trillion for 4 years. We're going to have $20 trillion in less than 12 months, and we're over 17 trillion
Jeez,
right now.
Dex.
So it's the largest.
He is so boring.
It's the largest amount in our country by far, by many times. That's in our country. But here's the one. It's the largest amount in the history of the world. There's never been a country that's had anywhere near 17, or it will be 20, and it's going up
Oh,
fast.
absolutely, Meowsord. Yeah, their masculinity is the beta that they think they aren't.
Words,
yeah, it is.
They make their
And it
product in a
reveals.
certain
Sorry, I'm going
country.
to pause. So again, folks, this isn't live at the moment. I came on about 5 minutes after it ended, so I can pause it because it's not live at the moment. It ended a few minutes ago, but yeah, like you can tell by how he acts that there's deep insecurity. Like you can feel the insecurity. It's really quite sad. I mean, it's not sad. I don't give a shit, but like yeah.
And they used to just send it in here, and there was no charge. Absolutely. Now, if they have to pay a 20%, 30%, 50%, 100%, or 2% tariff, they say,
Alvin,
well,
okay,
it's better
fair.
if I build
So,
my
folks,
plant in
because
the United
Meowzord
States.
donated
It always amazed me.
1,000 bits, I'm also
I
going to
did
put on the
this
caller. Thank you,
first term.
Meowzord, and
We had
thank
the
you, Alan, for
greatest
reminding me.
economy in the history of our country in first term. We had COVID, and we did a good job with that. That was a curse for every country in the world. It was
It is
terrible,
Fox
but
Emblem.
we had the greatest economy we ever had. But if you
I'm having
remember,
trouble
I
focusing
started
on
the
him, folks. I'm
tariffs, but I
sorry.
held
He's
it
just
off because
babbling
it
on
wouldn't
like a
have
lunatic.
exactly been good at the time to tell France.
That's
you
an
know
insult
what
to
they were going
lunatics,
through,
by
you know
the
what
way.
Spain was going through and Italy was going through. That, by the way, we're going to charge you tariffs. But I had started the process. We were going. The country was doing good. And I took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. I put the full tariffs on China. Biden left the tariffs because he couldn't. It was too much money, but they gave so many exceptions that they were essentially meaningless. In other words, here's the tariffs, but you don't have to pay if you look at somebody the wrong way. You don't have to pay. So they didn't pay very much.
Oh,
But
totally,
with
Alan.
me, they were paying
Absolutely. Alan,
hundreds
you're
of
after my
billions
heart.
of dollars.
Fascists are
And
all
again, I have a
historically
great
deeply
relationship with
insecure.
President Xi. I expect to be able to
Oh,
make
God, shut
a
up.
good deal with him, and he'll make a good. I want him to make a good deal for China, but it's got to be fair. For years, they were making $500, $600, $700 billion, $700 billion, and we'd be making
Victoria,
nothing.
thank you. I
It
should
was a
have. Yeah,
one-sided.
I should have asked you to do that earlier,
We
Victoria.
built
Yeah.
their military. We built China's military with the money that we lost for so many years getting ripped off. So now we're going to have a fair deal.
Why did you cut taxes for the
meeting.
wealthy if you
Certainly,
don't
there are
want
a
to
lot of
stop
people
borrowing money
that
from
are
China?
waiting for it. Maybe it won't happen. Maybe
Oh
it
my
won't
God,
happen.
you're so
Things
right,
can
Alan. Oh my God,
happen
you're
where,
so right,
for
Alan.
instance, maybe somebody will say,
Failed
"Hey, I
actor with
don't
daddy
want
issues.
to
I think he
it's
just
too
wants to.
nasty."
He told
But
he's a
it's
good
really
boy.
not
Yeah,
nasty. It's just
yeah.
business.
In
And we're
more
gonna-
ways than one, Alan. You know
we're
what
going
I
to do
mean.
a good job representing you people and representing the people of our country. Unfortunately, in a craven and pointless act of partisan spite, Chuck Schumer, who I've known for a long time, and the radical left Democrats are holding the entire federal government hostage to appease the extremists in their party. And they are extreme. I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
Right.
They're
The
extreme. And you know
extremist
what? We had a
Democrats, right?
landslide election.
Oh.
We won the popular vote by a lot. We won the swing states, all 7. Remember, they said, oh, if Trump could get 3 swing states, he'd be. And, well, I didn't get 3. I got 7. We got all 7 by a lot, by record
Alan.
numbers. We won the Electoral College, 312
Chuck Schumer, the radical
votes.
leftist.
They said it's very hard for a Republican. It's harder for a Republican. Although now I think we've swapped it. I think it's now harder for a Democrat. Because if you see what we've done with the Hispanics, with the black workers and black men, and recently a poll came out.
Why does he,
with
whenever he
black
says
men
black,
and women were doing
that's
so
always
well? You know, they want
black
security.
men,
They don't want to have their
black
city destroyed.
women, like
women in
what?
Chicago, beautiful black women walking around with red MAGA
No,
hats.
Dex, he didn't. I was just
Because
joking.
they don't want to be mugged and shot and everything else. And then you see a Democrat get up and tell you how safe it is in Chicago. Do you know they've had, in a fairly short period of time,
RPB, you're not wrong at all.
murders. This is over a short
I know,
period
right,
of time. 4,000 murders. And they had a holiday where they had 28 people killed and almost 100 shot.
Yeah,
And
China.
then you listen to this guy,
Like,
Pritzker. I've known the family for a long time. They threw him out because he was no good, and he became governor. He's got money through the family. He's got money through the family. But they threw him out. He became governor. I said, I wonder how he's
is that not
do.
projection?
It's
Trump getting
it's
a
crime
ton of
palace.
his money
It's a
from
shame.
Daddy Trump?
And you know what we did in D.C. is unbelievable. You people, you can walk down the middle of the street, Mr. Senator. You can walk down. You can have your wife meet you at the restaurant, and she's not going to be accosted, shot, beat up, raped. It's unbelievable how bad it was. It was one of the worst in the country.
Jesus.
And now it's stone cold. I don't
Sir,
say the word
your wife
perfect,
is not
but
gonna
it's
be-
pretty
you know
damn
what he
close.
said.
And, you know, they would average more than a murder a week in Washington, D.C. This is just before we got here, a murder a week. Think of that. The capital of, in my opinion, the capital of the world.
I do.
They come from Iowa. They come from Indiana. They come from Florida. You call up the parents. I'm
Right,
sorry, sir, your son has been shot and killed. We have no crime here now. We have no crime.
Absolutely,
and the
Alan.
National Guard has been unbelievable.
Yeah.
The job.
Hey, first of all, let's say there's no crime. There is in D.C. still, but let's say there isn't.
And you know, it also looks better. I do it too.
There definitely is. It's going on in the White House and in Congress.
Very safe in the Beast. The windows are this thick. But I hop in the Beast and I tell the Secret Service,
small,
let's
measly
drive
loan
around
of 14
town.
million, yeah.
I used to do that myself. I could drive myself around. I actually like that better. But now I don't think it's a good idea. But we drive around in the streets.
Because you're declining mentally? Hello, Dolly Boy. Welcome to the shit show, Dolly Boy.
Down. There's no tents. There's no anything. We are looking
absolutely,
like
Priscilla.
It's just a whole new look. And the most important thing, there's no crime. And we're going to fix the roads. We have great pavers. We're going to fix the medians in between the roads, which are half of them are falling down. We're going to take some of the tiles off the bridges, the tunnels that you have. They've been up for 40 years. They're rotted. And we'll put up brand new, gorgeous white tiles like it's supposed to be.
Oh my God, he's building New Germania, which is what the Nazis called their Hitler's idea for building a new Berlin.
Fixing up of the town.
Yeah, exactly,
Dolly
Boy.
You notice there's almost no graffiti anymore. A lot of that
Fox
beautiful
his dad was a Yahtzee, and they both hated minorities. Yeah, they prohibited a lot of black people from renting apartments in their buildings.
We've taken out 1,700 career criminals
right,
and
Victoria.
people that came in through an open border.
Right.
They came in through Biden's
that's
open border.
Victoria, he just wants to keep them
We've
there
taken them out. The thing having to do with
Alan.
all of the elements in the great, big, beautiful bill. I'll tell you, it's amazing what we've done. $200 billion in costs for medical. What we've done, $50 billion for rural hospitals. And remember, no tax on
he is
tips.
RPB, a triumphal
No tax on Social Security. No tax on. Think of all of these things that we've done. This is the biggest.
Think of all
this
these
is the
things
greatest
we've done.
bill. Social Security. No tax on overtime. But no tax on tips. I got that from a waitress in Nevada. I was making a speech and I met one of.
Which they made it basically impossible to be able to take that tax deduction. It's very difficult to take that tax deduction. It barely helps people. And all of these tax deductions are basically counteracted by the massive tax cut for the rich and the cuts to Medicaid. Yeah, exactly in your groove. It does not end the tax on tips or Social Security. Okay. Yeah, right, Drusilla, what they should be cutting is his mic.
My restaurants in the hotel I own there.
Yeah.
I
Alan.
say, how are you doing? Well, sir, it's terrible. They're taxing my tips. They're going, I wouldn't have even thought that.
Valley Boy, you know probably just as well as we do.
Sir,
we don't know
there
what
should
he's
be no tax on tips. I said, say it one time
Right,
more.
Demosthenes, I agree.
No tax on tips. I walked outside to the press. I said,
So
there will be no tax on tips. She was right.
Clanders just called. They want their nuts back.
We won that state by a lot. That's not a state that we win by that much, David, but we won it by a lot. So it was
right.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
Alan. Right.
But that bill is chock full.
Alan, are you a communist? You're suggesting we should raise the minimum wage? No.
Of so many different things. So it was the biggest bill. I'm actually saying this to the fake news so that they maybe print it. But
okay. By the way, the Nazis had a phrase. So Trump uses the phrase fake news. In Nazi Germany, it was Lügenpresse, which meant like trash news, or like, and the Nazis would use all the time, like, oh, that's just Lügenpresse. Anyway, I'm not saying that they're the same. I'm just saying. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Alzord, replacing the tiles like that physical fitness standard in the military, et cetera, is like enforcing absolutely, it is enforcing like a fascist ideas. Okay. All right.
No, it was the biggest bill
right, Demosthenes,
ever passed in Congress. And what we did was a little risky. We put everything into the bill, John, right? And some people were against it. They said, no, you got to do small bites.
A show and tell?
And we gave it a shot, and we got it passed. I got a call from John. He said, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. Sir, we have 4 hard no's. Could you please call him? I said, what time is it, John? It's 4 o'clock in the morning, sir. So I called up.
So go.
One of you is sitting right here. I said, Jim, could I say hello to you? It's 4 o'clock
exactly
in the morning,
in your groove. Yep.
He said, sir, you have my vote. I said, wow. Then I called up another person. I'll use fictitious names. Doug, could I get your vote? You've got it, sir. Then I called up another one. How about Josh? Could I have your vote, Josh? Because I like Josh. And Josh,
God,
who can be
right?
very
Oh my
difficult,
Jesus!
said,
Right, SoCal, right?
Sir,
Oh
you
God,
have
you guys
my
have
vote.
had such
His
great
wife was
comments.
screaming at him on the other side. Sir, you have my vote. But I called
Yeah, this
people,
is what your diary is for,
and they
sir.
weren't really
Absolutely,
hard-nosed. They
Drusilla.
wanted a little
It's like
attention,
keep it to your goddamn
unfortunately, at
self.
4 in the morning. Sometimes I like the ones that don't like the attention, but we'll take it anywhere we can. And we got
Okay,
it
folks.
passed, right,
While
John?
he's talking, I'm gonna
And,
sassily paint my
nobody thought
nails.
that could
Okay,
happen.
just
'Cause you have a
realize I'm doing
small
this with a lot of
majority,
sass.
and
Okay,
how about in the House?
and
We had
I'm giving
a
him
majority
side
of
eye while
3.
I'm doing it.
We actually went down after that for a period of about 2 months. We went down to a majority in the House of 1. And I kept saying, you know, because I'll tell you, Mike Johnson's great. The team, these two teams, did you ever see two people more different? One's tall, one's slightly less tall. We want to be polite. They are very different people, but they're the same in terms of talent. They did the two guys, and they get along incredibly well.
Talent
We
my
all do.
ass.
We get along great. But we passed a bill. We don't need to pass any more bills. We got everything in that bill. There's nothing else we
Right
have
in
to
your
put.
groove.
We got the largest tax cuts in history. We got the extension of the Trump tax cuts. We got all of these things. And, you know, remember, they lie. They will look at I saw it the other day. Somebody
Says like one of the biggest liars in American
I call it
history.
the Great Big Beautiful Bill, but that's what it is, the Great Big Beautiful, the biggest bill ever passed. And what they say, they make up stories. And I saw they were interviewing
I know,
a senator,
RPB.
and they said, well, what's wrong with their bill? He didn't know what to say, because there's
Yeah,
nothing he
Victoria.
could say. It covers everything. He said, death, death. It brings death. Now, if I'm a regular person and I hear that, I say, oh, that's terrible. But it's just the opposite. It brings life. It brings Medicaid,
Jesus Christ.
Medicare, Social Security.
Right,
it secures
Louise.
all those
Pot
things.
calling the kettle
And
black.
they just are so bad. You know, they said death. It was like
I'm sorry.
death.
If he would call
There's
the kettle
nothing
black,
about
he'd be
death.
like, black.
Theirs is death.
Which,
because
okay.
they're going to lose Medicaid. They're going to lose Social Security. They're going to lose Medicare. All
Right,
of those
and-
things are
totally
going to be
in your
gone
groove.
because the whole country would be bankrupt, and you're not going to have any kind of medical
Totally,
insurance. So
SoCal.
with us, it's the opposite. And it's a great bill. We don't need any more. And I want to just say from the beginning, our message has been very simple. We will not be extorted on this crazy plot of theirs. They've never done this before. Nobody has. You always vote for an
Are
extension.
you kidding me? The
Chuck
Republicans
Schumer
have done
and the
it
Senate
multiple
Democrats
times.
need to
Literally.
vote
The Republicans
for
have done
the
it
clean,
multiple times.
bipartisan CR and reopen our government. It's got to be
Drusilla,
reopened right now.
right, Drusilla.
We're not doing that. They are the
Right, Mithril,
obstructionists.
welcome,
And the
Mithril, yeah.
reason they're doing it is because
Yes,
we're
I did
doing
see
so
that,
well.
Alan. Maybe
we're
we'll
doing
talk
well
about
all
that
over
after
the
this.
world.
I'm
we're
so
doing
sad
well
for
with
Ukraine.
the close to $20 trillion that I just told you about. It will be that number, but even if you take it down to over 17, that's a guarantee. We're doing well with everything. Car plants are pouring back into our country. AI plants, we're leading, we're dominating China right now in AI.
Oh.
And I did something that I think
Are
you'd
they, folks?
like.
Are they?
Because we have an old grid. It's
Your
a tired
fake
grid.
news, Matt Saigai.
It doesn't have the juice that you need to fire up these plants. You know, these plants will need more than double the energy we have right now for the whole country. That's how big it is.
Great.
And
It's not like we're in
we
a
can't do
climate
that.
crisis or
There's no way
anything.
we
I'm
can
sure
do that.
that'll all come
China's
from
building
clean
right now
energy, right,
52
folks?
power
I'm sure that'll
stations.
all come from
But I
clean
did
green
something
energy.
better. I'm letting everybody build their own power plant, so they'll become like an electric utility in addition to AI. But if they want to
Great.
build their own
Oh my
plant,
God, I'm so
and we get their
excited.
approvals within less than a month, it used to take 5 years prior to rejection. Sometimes a guy in Louisiana, they had one that took 12 years, and then they got rejected. I got it approved in 2 weeks when I got into office. That was the first term. And the plant is up now, and it's been a great thing for the state. I did it twice, actually. I got 2 of them that were dead after 12 years, and I got them approved, both of them, in less than a week.
Demosthenes,
And that's
SoCal,
what we're
right.
doing. Lee Zeldin, by the way, is doing a phenomenal job. Environmental
Yeah, literally,
Commissioner, I have to tell you.
Mithril, draining all the
He knows
water.
that we have to get them fast, and we're getting them fast. So we're leading China in the AI race by a lot. Under
Oh, is that so?
Biden,
Do we think
Democrats
that's
voted
true,
13
folks? Do we think
times
that
for
the U.S. is
continuing
leading China
resolutions
in
to
the
keep
AI
the
race?
government open. And
By
all
a
we
lot?
want is simply to ask them to do it once again. They always voted for it. They never voted against it. Nobody votes against it. But they do that, and they do. It's partially my fault. I
Right,
mean, I'm
Maxim?
watching you, and
Yep,
I'm
yep. Our
looking at
energy
all
will
these
come
great
from very
faces that I've
beautiful,
seen.
clean
Really great
coal.
people.
Right.
Yeah, I think with few exceptions, a couple
I
of you I
hate
don't
Mitch
like that
McConnell,
much, but
RPB.
with with few exceptions, great people. And you look at what they do, and you look at the game they play, and it's a horrible game. And you know, we have the hottest country ever. This is the hottest country anywhere in the world. And I say this, I'm sure you've heard me say it, but I was over in the Middle
Oh,
East, and the King of Saudi Arabia and others also said essentially the same thing. They said, you know, President, a year and a
my
half
RPB.
ago, your country was dead. We never thought we'd see this. And right now, you have the
I
hottest
don't know,
country
Drusilla. He's
anywhere in
just
the world. We
rambling
do. We have the
incoherently,
hottest country
which is most
anywhere
of
in the
his
world, which tells you about
speeches, I
leadership,
guess.
and that includes your leadership. So as you know, my door is always open to anyone. It's not like that AOC. How about her, where she said,
Oh, here
she's
we
talking
go.
about having rebellions and everything. She said, well, my door is always open. But she's
Christ.
not the leader. I'm sure the leaders felt very nicely about when she said her door is open. Who the hell wants to go into her door anyway? She doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. She's the one that started. You know, I remember, I'll never forget, she never took a course on the environment. And I watched her
Right,
one day,
Alan.
and she was on television. She said, yes, our planet will be
Absolutely
dead
in your
within
groove.
12 years. That was a long time ago. Our planet was supposed to be dead. Remember the 12-year
Yeah,
theory?
Doug.
We were environmentally dead. Now, these people, they've got an agenda that nobody
Wait a
quite
minute,
understands.
environmentally
The
dead?
good news is they don't understand it either. They really have no idea. But the people do. The people
Yeah,
understand.
Drusilla, the whole
We're
world
giving you the
laughs at
biggest
him.
tax
It's
cuts
hilarious.
in history. All of these things, it all adds up that we should do
Demosthenes,
fantastically
you're so
well in
right.
the midterm. The only thing wrong with the midterms is that
Yeah, they are
statistically, when
crap.
you look, a president gets elected, and for some reason,
By the way,
and
folks,
nobody, even
we have a lot of tariffs and shit on Chinese electric cars. So people in America can basically not buy Chinese electric cars, even though they're much less expensive than American electric cars, which makes it much harder for Americans to get it. And there's all these things set up to make it harder for Americans to buy like cheap cars from elsewhere. So a lot of Americans kind of have to buy American cars, or there's other cars they can buy, but yeah, American cars are crap in a lot of compared to a lot of cars elsewhere.
the great John Thune cannot explain to me, for some reason, even if he's a reasonably good
Yeah,
president,
Alan, he
and we've
can't. You're
had
right.
success like
He will
nobody,
not win a trade war
but
with
for
China.
some reason,
Matt Saiga,
you
yay!
lose the midterms. I don't know why. I mean, the odds are tremendously against, like 92% or something. It doesn't make sense. If you have a great presidency,
Right, Drusilla?
it only makes sense that you win the midterm. So there should be no reason for it. Somebody's going to explain. There might be some dark, deep psychological reason where they want to vote the opposite way. I don't know what it is, but we have to win the midterms. Otherwise, all of the things that we've done, so many of them are going to be taken away by
Wait.
the radical left lunatics.
so
I mean, we're
confused.
going to end up with a communist mayor in New York. Can you?
Oh my God, based. We can only hope, folks. Oh my God, let's go, Mamdani, please. And folks, for those out there who have been saying that like Mamdani is a bad choice because he's too radical or whatever, you can see how scared Trump is of Mamdani. The fact he keeps bringing him up, he also keeps bringing up AOC. He only talks about the people that he either hates or that he is scared of politically. Thank you, Matt Saiga, very much for the $5 super chat. Right? See, yeah, absolutely. Um, uh, yeah, absolutely, Demosthenes. Okay. Yeah, the polling is looking really bad. Um, uh, yeah. Uh, yeah. Okay. The polling is looking so bad for the Republicans in the midterms. Um, right in your groove. Oh, but in your groove, Trump has a monopoly on reality, right? Like only what he says about the world is true, according to him.
Believe it, a communist. Remember, I would always say, we will not have a socialist elected in our country. Remember, I'd say that all the time. And I was right. We skipped socialists. We got a communist elected. So I
Dare you,
didn't
Matt
tell
Saiga.
a lie. I didn't tell a lie. I was right. We'll have a communist, not a socialist. But we've already seen the impacts of the dangerous game.
By the way, just factually wrong by definition. I mean, that'd be based, but alas, Mamdani is not promoting communal ownership of all the property in New York City, okay? He's not saying that there will be no more private property. That's what communism is, okay? Anyway,
That they're playing. Democrats are causing
and Trump
delays in
failed.
our air traffic control system. So important.
Yeah,
We
RPB,
wouldn't have
great
had,
job.
there's Pete Buttigieg. He spent billions of dollars on fixing the air traffic control. They'd use copper wire going into glass wire. Any union electrician here or any non-union electrician would say you can't hook copper into glass. It
Yeah,
doesn't
as if
work.
there's any
They
union
spent billions
electricians
of
in this
dollars.
audience of
They turned
elites.
on the system, and it was stone cold blank. We're
Yeah,
getting a brand
absolutely in
new
your groove.
system. We have bids out now. We have 3 great companies bidding. And I want one bid. Sean Duffy's doing terrifically. I want one bid. I want just bid, and they're responsible for everything. Not where they had like 1,000 contractors. Every contractor, they're all running around. In the end, if one of them does a bad job, we want to be able to blame somebody, and it's going to be one of the very big companies because there's a lot of interest in it. So the air traffic control system is going to be rebuilt. Over 1 million federal workers right now, as you know, are going
I
unpaid.
don't
That's
know
the
in your groove.
Democrats' fault. And children, tourists, unable to visit the museums in Washington, D.C., that we now have beautiful, safe streets, but we don't have
Yeah,
the
right.
museums open.
Fox
We should
emblem.
probably just open them.
Scab, scab, scabs. You're
We are
right, Fox
doing
emblem.
things that nobody's ever done, nobody's ever seen. So all of this and the pain that the Democrats have caused during this reckless and completely unnecessary affair, and you could call it the Schumer shutdown or the Democrat shutdown, you can call it whatever you want. And I will say this, that we have Darth Vader. You know Darth Vader, right? Darth Vader
Stephen
is
Miller?
a man who, I think he's sitting right. Is that
Is it
Darth?
Stephen Miller?
Stand up, please, Darth Vader. Stand up. Does everybody know? They call him Darth Vader.
Oh,
I call him a fine man.
is
But
it Stephen
he's
Miller?
cutting Democrat priorities, and they're never going to get him back. And they've caused us, and they've really allowed us
Really,
to
Mitchell?
do
I'm
it.
sorry.
And by the way, thank you. You're doing a great job.
I don't
have
know
to
why.
tell you, really a great job.
Yeah, absolutely, Max.
Because
He's
many
only
of the
blaming
things
someone.
that they're cutting, like the New York project, $20 billion, we're cutting it. They're not going to get it back. I mean, they're not going to get a lot of things back. They may not get it back. Maybe we'll talk to them about it. But they're losing all the things that they wanted. But many of the things that
True,
they wanted
RPB.
are things that we don't want. Things that are just so bad for our country. And we're cutting those things out. So
I
while
believe
they
you, Matt
thought
Saigon.
they were doing maybe bad, maybe indirectly they're
Alan.
doing good. The cynical comment that they've made all over the place, and all of their cynical remarks proves beyond all doubt that Schumer is a calculating political partisan, but we knew that. But he's somebody that's in deep trouble. He's losing in all of the polls. He's even losing to AOC plus
Right,
3.
Demosthenes,
Remember
there
plus
can only
3?
be
What
two.
happened to the plus
There's
3?
always
Are they
two.
still around? I had one. I met when I was at the United Nations. I met the
Mithril,
president
I love
of
it.
Somalia.
I love it. I love
And I
some
said,
good
I have
Anglo-Saxon
somebody I'd like
vernacular.
to give back to you. He said, no, thanks. We don't want her. He didn't want anything to do with her. But today I'm calling on every Senate Democrat to stop the madness, to let our country get back. In the greatest moment in the history of our country in terms of wealth, in terms of job creation, and in terms of investment coming in.
Oh, did I miss it,
These
Alan?
guys go on strike. It's really a shame. So I'm asking them to
Did you talk about
not
Elon
get it
Omar?
back. Maybe we'll talk to them about it. But they're losing
fast.
all the things that they wanted. But many of the things that they wanted are things that we don't want. Things that are just so bad
One
for our
second, folks.
country. And we're cutting those things out. So while they thought they were doing maybe bad, maybe indirectly they're doing good. The cynical comment that they've made all over the place, and all of their cynical remarks proves beyond all doubt that Schumer is a calculating political
Forgive
partisan.
me,
but we
Alan. I
knew
get
that.
distracted
But
because
he's
it's
somebody
boring
that's in deep
sometimes.
trouble. He's losing in all of the polls. He's even
Matthew.
losing to AOC plus 3. Remember plus 3? What happened to the plus 3? Are they still around? I had one. I met when I was at the United Nations. I met the president of Somalia.
Oh, here
And
we
I
go.
said, I have somebody I'd like to give back to you. He said, no, thanks. We don't want her.
Oh my God. See, he's talking. You're right, Alan. He's talking about deporting Elon Omar. Notice, folks, how he always has like an extra bit of anger stored up for women, especially if they're young women, and especially women who are not white. So he's always going after like Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, AOC. And then, he also doesn't like white women, by the way. Remember, like, he has a tendency to use the word nasty when referring to women who are politically opposed to him. And also obviously blatant Islamophobia there.
We
Okay,
didn't want anything to do with her. But today I'm
totally
calling on every
RBB, love
Senate
it.
Democrat to stop the madness, to
That's
let our country
that's
get
that's
back
hilarious, by the way. The
in the
group chat.
greatest moment in the history of our country in terms of wealth, in terms of job creation, and in terms of investment coming in. These
Right in
guys
your
go
groove.
on strike. It's really a shame. So I'm asking them to
Base,
be
go on
smart.
strike.
It's
Everyone
not
should be on
working.
strike.
They're getting killed in the polls. The public understands what they're doing. They're doing the wrong thing. And with that, I
Right,
just
Fox, I'm
want
a
to say welcome
rusty spoon.
to the White House.
Gooner in
When we're
chief.
finished, they do a great job. When they're finished, we're going to all come in. It'll be a little crowded, but that's okay. Into the
Speaking
Oval
of
Office,
Gooner
we'll
in
talk
chief,
a
the
little
word
bit, couple
finished
of
there,
minutes.
that gives it
Got
a new
some
meaning,
interesting
doesn't it,
things.
Malzward?
And
Anyway.
I think I'd like to have, if I could, John come up and say a few words, and we can close
Yeah, it was
out.
very good,
And
right,
by the
Louise?
way, this is an open mic. It's open to the world. I think they can hear me out on the street. If anybody wants to come up and say after John, say it. We're all friends, and you can speak your heart out. But we've got to get our government open, and the Democrats are trying to keep it closed. Thank you. John, please.
Okay.
Well, Mr. President,
All
thank you
right.
for having us.
So
This is the fourth week of the Democrat
we're not going to listen to who's this
come
John
around.
Thune? I don't know who the hell it is. So some
But
some
Mr.
lunatic.
President,
Yeah, you're right, SoCal. So I do want to listen to one more thing. Okay. Earlier today, JD Vance gave a press conference in Israel. And I would really like to watch that now, folks. This is kind of why I started a bit early so we could get through a couple of these press conferences. Oh, thank you, Fox Emblem. Yeah, I knew that. I just didn't really want to. I didn't really want to acknowledge him, but thank you, Fox Emblem. Okay. So that was a cluster F, don't you all think? So this one was from earlier today. From JD Vance with is that iRobot or is that who is that in the background? It looks like a Android. Yeah, thank you. In your groove, definitely Kushner gooning in the background. He gave a press conference in Israel regarding the ceasefire. Right, RPB, hide your couches. Okay. I am curious to see what is said here, given that you know, you all know. By the way, free Palestine. Where the hell's my kafia? Look at me. I'm being a really bad advocate. All right. So let's watch this. Let's see what's being said. Oh, of course, Alan. Of course he did. Of course he did. Matt Saigai, I acknowledge you, Matt Saigai. Uh, all right, there we go. Okay, let's see here. Let's see what the biggest couch offender in history has to say. The Epstein for couches. And we got and then I don't know, is that even a human in the background? I don't know. He looks kind of like an android. Okay. So let's watch this. By the way, folks, if we get one more super chat, I'll put on the makeup. Just one more. We put on the makeup. Okay. All right, here we go.
Civilian population in Gaza that's caught in the middle. But here at the Civilian Military Cooperation
Oh, I
Center,
do have a nasty
which we are
mouth, Matt
announcing the
Saigai.
opening of, you have
I'm sorry, I didn't see
Israelis
you, Matt
and
Saigai.
Americans working hand in hand to try to begin.
It's kind of
the
quiet,
plan
isn't it, folks?
to rebuild Gaza.
I can't turn it up
to
anymore.
implement a long-term peace and to actually ensure that you have security forces on the ground in Gaza, not composed of
Yes,
Americans,
she did,
who can keep
Alan.
the peace over the long term. So we've got a lot of work left to do. This is going to take a
She's
very,
also
very
the one that demanded Jerusalem, the capital be moved to Jerusalem.
long time, but I think Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, and Admiral Cooper behind me have done an incredible.
Can you all hear that? It sounds pretty quiet to me. I have it all turned up, but it does sound kind of quiet to me. Let me just make sure I got everything here set. Yeah, everything's turned up as high as it can go. We'll see if if we need to find a different video.
I want to say just a couple of quick things, and then I want to turn it over to Steve Witkoff. Number one, the Israeli government has been remarkably helpful in this. I want to thank them, thank our Israeli
I don't blame
partners,
them.
all the folks, particularly who are working hand in hand with their American friends here at the CMCC. And number two, I want to say that there is this weird attitude I've sensed in the American media, in the Western media, where there's almost this desire to root for failure. That every
You did,
time
Doug.
something
Lucky
bad
you.
happens, and every time that there's an act of violence, There's
I
this
know
inclination
RPB.
to say, oh, this is the end of the ceasefire. This is the end of the peace plan. It's not the end. It is, in fact, exactly how this is going to have to happen when you have people who hate each other, who've been fighting against each other for a very long time. We are doing very well. We are in a very good place. We're going to have to keep working on it, but I think we have the team to do exactly that. So with all thanks to our partners, both in
Now, I will say, folks, while we're watching this, here's the thing, right? You have to understand that the Trump administration has been expressing some annoyance with Netanyahu's regime. Okay, am I saying that they're like totally against Netanyahu's regime? No, of course not. But because Trump wanted the Nobel Peace Prize, he started flexing his muscles a bit more in order to try and get Netanyahu to do what he wanted him to do. It's not that he cares about the Palestinians, but I am curious as some of these things JD Vance saying might be targeted at the Israelis. I don't know for sure, right? So when he's so but it's just something to um it's just something to think about. Like maybe when he says like this is not hey, I'm not being a Zionist, Matt Sage, okay? When he says things like this is not the end of the ceasefire, because in my head I'm thinking that that's probably what Netanyahu is wants to have happen, right? He wants it to be the end of the ceasefire. And so when JD Vance says this is not the end of the ceasefire, I don't know if that's directed at Netanyahu, but it's an interesting thought. Um, it's just complicated, right? And don't worry, the Trump administration is completely complicit in the genocide. But there are different layers to this, though, that have made this more interesting. Me too, Alan. And Trump may, I don't know, but it's just something to think about.
Israel, but all across the Gulf Arab states, Indonesia, the Turks. We are doing an amazing thing here, and I'm particularly proud of the American troops working at the command center who are coordinating this effort and making it possible. So with that, I want to thank Ambassador Steve Witkoff and turn it over to him to say a few things, and after everybody said a few words, we'll take some questions. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President. We're really proud of what's happened here. It's an amazing.
Who is this guy, Steve Witkoff?
Great coordination between our partners. We have a great team. Signing this deal up was a challenge in and of itself, but the implementation, that's where it really.
I know who he is. I was trying to remember what his position is.
And I think we are exceeding where we thought we would be at this time. I think the Vice President.
Oh, special envoy. That's right.
He sees that. The Secretary of State will be out here. I can't tell you what a privilege it is to work with the team that we have, with Jared, who's an extraordinary.
My God, speak up, buddy. We can't hear you.
Vice President and Admiral Cooper.
Right, Drusilla?
I would also say this.
Oh, Mithril, you're so right. He does. Kushner does look like an android from Detroit Become Human. That's all I can see now.
In other conflicts, as we figure out all the intricacies of how to.
Yeah, you're right, Alan. So it might not be that. You're right, Alan. It might not be that case anymore. It might be that he doesn't want to stand up to Israel anymore.
I want to speak about the morning that me and Jared had.
Oh, absolutely, in your groove. No doubt. Okay.
And it was really an emotional moment. And I felt blessed to be in that room. Lots of tears, lots of people really, really grateful to President Trump for getting their children home. And you, of course, Mr. Vice President. And I want to.
I wonder how many Palestinian families are happy with Donald Trump. How many of their children have been returned home? In something other than, anyway.
I want to observe that I didn't see any victims in that room. I saw strong people who have come out under very difficult circumstances. Their families are reunited.
Yeah, absolutely,
so
Alan.
Grateful.
Yep,
And,
100%, Alan.
It's just my privilege as an American to be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Thank you, Steve. First of all, we
Right, Drusilla? He didn't care about the Palestinians killed before the deal or after the deal, Drusilla, right? Here comes the android. God, it's becoming self-aware. Someone put it down.
Something that's been envisioned by CENTCOM. Admiral Cooper will speak about that in a bit. But we always knew that the deal that we were working on would kind of have two phases to it. The first phase was obviously getting the live hostages out. We're currently making progress on the hostages, the bodies that are still there. I think almost half are out now, and We had very good meetings with the Israelis, and the vice president's here to put a lot of effort into that today to hopefully make sure we can complete that mission in phase 2. At the same time, humanitarian aid, there's actually been surprisingly strong coordination between the United Nations and Israel, which is something that we've been able to help synthesize, get each other to air their concerns and to find out how we can do it better so that the aid reaches the people in Gaza and doesn't go into the wrong hands there. Finally, I'll say that there has already been a lot of efforts over the last
All right,
years
Doug.
by really concerned people to think about what happens next in Gaza. And there's a lot of great things
So
happening.
true,
More
Miss
will be
Rill.
released,
Hannah
in the
Arendt, the
coming days,
banality
but,
of evil.
the most important thing here is to figure out how you really get a good deconfliction coordination center. This really has been a startup. There's been a lot that's been done.
Always
It's
his
amazing to think
his
it's only
mouth
been a
always
week,
looks like he's
but
trying to
actually
push out a
with
turd while
pace
he's
of work
talking.
and the commitment of everybody, I think in a
Like,
week from now you'll see even more progress. I want to echo
you know,
what the vice president said about how a lot of people are getting a little hysterical about different incursions one way or the other, but what we are seeing is that things are going in accordance. Both sides are transitioning from 2 years of very intense
Alan, that's
warfare now a
fascinating.
peacetime
That's
posture,
insane.
and really thanks to Admiral Cooper, CENTCOM, and the CMCC to try
Matt
to
Saigai,
build that
I hate you, Matt
deconfliction
Saigai,
mechanism
okay?
in order to make sure
Just
that we
thank
can
you,
get
Matt
to a
Saigai,
proper
for the super
de-escalation.
chat.
We have some
Matt
facts
Saigai
that
says
we thought
Zionist, Trump, and dictatorship-loving casual revolt. Hope you're okay to take money from a brown guy. How dare you, Matt Saigai? um, Matt Saigai here, the far-right Hindu nationalist, making a very false statement. But it's okay. We all understand. Matt Saigai is a very conservative religious Hindu, and not a big fan of science. So we can understand why he feels that way. Okay.
here. This is not fully representative of the countries that are here. It's happening very rapidly.
By the way, he
People
keeps
are
sending me
agreeing to come on
DMs
board,
talking
and
about how much he loves Modi for some reason. I don't know why. It's unprompted. I win.
help. People really want to be a part of this, and it's just happening very, very quickly. So we'll try to continue to give the updates as it progresses. But really just thank you to the entire team here who's made all this possible. It's been a lot of sleepless nights, around the clock effort, and it's really been great coordination because everyone believes that it is possible to create something better in Gaza, and we have to believe it. We have to work hard for it, and if we all work hard to do that, then I do believe a great outcome is possible.
Thanks, Chair. Admiral?
Well, Mr. Vice President, thank you for joining us here today at the CMCC. Consistent with our Commander-in-Chief's direction, this facility will be the hub for the delivery of everything that goes into Gaza as we look to the future, delivering on the Commander-in-Chief's commitments. 200 of America's sons and daughters who wear the cloth of the nation have stepped up and are serving here. I just couldn't be prouder, and I know that you are as well. Thank you.
Okay. Blah blah blah.
Great.
Thank you. See,
Thanks, Admiral and gentlemen.
I never felt that I would respect military people more than I have recently. As in, like, I've never been, a massive respect. What the hell just happened? Did I just get out of that? I've never been, a huge fan of the military. What the hell just happened? Did I just accidentally get out of it? I did. I'll go back. Um, but like just hearing them, most of them don't say much, which I appreciate when they give a press conference. They're just like, well, what, like, anyway, you see what I'm saying.
For the delivery of everything that goes into Gaza as we look to the future, delivering on the Commander-in-Chief's commitments.
You know I love you, Matt
200
Saigai.
America's sons and daughters who wear the cloth of the nation have stepped up and are serving here.
I acted in
just
self-defense,
couldn't be
Matt
prouder,
Saigai.
and I know that you are as well. Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks, Admiral and gentlemen. We'll take a few questions now. Sir.
Hey, big brain. What? What is it with the
I
audio?
think, first of all, what troops are on the ground in Israel is going to be a question the Israelis have to agree to, and I'm sure that Prime Minister Netanyahu will have opinions about that, but we think everybody has a role to play here. Some of that's going to be financial, some of that's going to be in reconstruction, some of that's just in communication with the various parties to ensure that this deconfliction process actually works and is implemented. We're not going to force anything on our Israeli friends when it comes to foreign troops on their soil, but we do think that there's a constructive role for the Turks to play, and frankly, they've already played a very constructive role.
Folks, did I say I'd put on the makeup after Matt Saigai? I think I did. I'm sorry. I'll put on the makeup. Thank you, Matt Saigai. Okay, we'll continue. Um, Yeah, Big Braden, more, this is JD Vance in Israel. Um,
We're very grateful for that. And you asked, they've supported Hamas in the past. No one who is a party to this conflict can look in the past
I was playing along that saga. That's why I insulted you back.
and not point at something that they don't like or that they disagree with. Everybody who's been involved in this conflict can point at one other person. One of these flags can point at another flag and say, we hate that person for various reasons. The way that we're going to get to peace is to focus on the future, which is what the President of the United States has asked us to do. And we think everybody here is very willing to do that and is very eager to engage in that effort. Ma'am.
Thank you, Matt's that guy.
Well, Jared's the investor here. I'm not going to give you a percentage, but look, what we've seen the
Right,
past
yeah,
week
Zord.
gives me great optimism the ceasefire is going to hold. And if we get from where we were a week ago to a long-term, durable peace between Israel and Gaza, there are going to be hills and valleys. There are going to be moments where it looks like things aren't going particularly well. But given that, and given the history
Right,
of
Dally boy.
conflict, I think that everybody should be proud of where we are today. It's going to require constant effort. It's going to require constant monitoring and supervision. That's part of the reason that Admiral Cooper and his team is here, is to mediate these disputes, to mediate these disagreements as they come up. But look, right now, I feel very optimistic.
So, yeah.
Can I say with 100% certainty that it's going to work? No. But you don't do difficult
By the way,
things
folks,
by
there's a
only
bunch of
doing
new
what's 100%
emojis
certain.
over on
You do difficult
Twitch.
things by trying, and that's what the President of the United States has asked us to do. Sir.
Yeah, absolutely, Allen. They just said Gaza.
First of all, thank you for brokering the ceasefire deal. Two questions for you. Hamas was supposed to bring back all the hostages within 72 hours. There are still deceased hostages that are still in Gaza. Will you put a deadline for Hamas to bring back all these hostages? And the second thing, President Trump tweeted about this today, Hamas killing their own people in Gaza, Palestinians who work for Israel. What is your warning to Hamas about that?
Yeah, so Steve, I'm going to ask you to follow up here, but let me say just a couple of words about the deceased hostages. I mean, one of the stations that I met with, one of the groups that's working on this that I met with earlier, they actually have a photo of the 15 deceased hostages who are still in Gaza. It is a focus of everybody here to get those bodies back home to their families so that they can have a proper burial. Now, that said, this is difficult. This is not going to happen overnight. Some of these hostages are buried under thousands of pounds
Yeah.
of rubble. Some of the hostages, nobody
See,
even
but see,
knows.
this is what I mean, folks. And again, I'm not defending the Trump administration here, but that is going against Netanyahu's narrative, right? He's saying, well, yeah, they're not, because Netanyahu was complaining and saying that Hamas hasn't returned the hostages in the time frame. And now JD Vance is saying, well, yeah, these bodies are buried under piles and piles of rubble. So they might not be able to get them back right away. And that one guy was asking an Israeli talking point question. So you can kind of sense that there's some frustration here. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, the Trump administration doesn't give a shit about the Palestinians. They just want a peace win under their belts. Um, but you see what I mean? It makes me wonder that some of the things he's saying is also an attempt to get back against Netanyahu. Anyway, just something to think about.
Where they are. That doesn't mean we shouldn't work to get them, and that doesn't mean we don't have confidence that we will. It's just a
Yeah, you're right,
reason
Alan.
to counsel in favor of a little bit of patience. This is going to take a little bit of time. And look, our warning.
You're
to
right,
Hamas is
Mr.
very
Justins. A lot
straightforward.
were
The
killed by
terms of
Israel.
The 20-point plan that the president put out there is very clear. It's supported not just by Israel, but by all of our Gulf Arab friends.
Is it
It's that
supported by
Hamas has
Israel,
to
folks?
disarm.
Is it?
It's that Hamas has to actually behave itself, and that Hamas, while all the fighters can be given some sort of clemency, they're not going to be able to kill each other, and they're not going to be able to kill their fellow Palestinians. Now, again, that's going to take a little bit of time. We're talking about how to set up the security and humanitarian apparatus to put all this in place. But right now, where I stand, I feel confident that we're going to be in a place where this peace lasts, where it's durable. And if Hamas doesn't cooperate, then as the President of the United States has said, Hamas is going to be obliterated. Steve, do you want to add anything?
Jesus
about the
Christ.
hostages? Okay,
I just
great.
hate the normalization of these words like obliteration. Um, like I don't care. Like even if they were, even if someone's like, we're going to obliterate the Russians in Ukraine, like I just don't like that. It's so dehumanizing. Um, uh, okay. Make Israel behave. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Justins. Yeah, Israel's the one to blame here, obviously. Yeah.
Well, look, the president actually put out a truth this morning that I thought was
Oh
very
God, put out a
instructive.
truth.
We know that Hamas has
We're
to
living in
comply with the deal. If
1984,
Hamas
folks.
doesn't comply with the deal, very bad things are going to happen. But I'm not going to do what the president of the United States has thus far refused to do, which is put an explicit deadline on it, because a lot of this stuff is difficult. A lot of this stuff is unpredictable. You basically have two
See what I mean?
one of which is
Do you guys hear what I'm
safe,
hearing, though?
very safe, and one of which is incredibly dangerous. And part of ensuring that we get to a durable peace is to broaden the scope of the area that's safe. And the International Security Force is a big part of that. We don't yet have the International Security Force set up. That's something we're working towards. We have a number of volunteers who want to participate in that International Security Force. So my point is, I don't think it's actually advisable for us to say this has to be done in a week, because a lot of this work is very hard. It's never been done before, and in order for us to give it a chance to succeed, we've got to be a little bit flexible. I think what you're seeing from our Gulf Arab friends, certainly from our Israeli friends, is a certain amount of impatience with Hamas, but we're going to keep on working at this process, and we're going to keep on trying to bring the deceased hostages home, but also make sure that all Gazans are able to live in a
By the way, it's not
prosperous and safe
impatience,
place.
it's malice. The Israelis want to keep doing the genocide, right? Okay. Done with the face here,
Yeah,
folks.
Jared, you want to say a few words about that? Okay.
First of all,
Right, Mr. Justins.
no reconstruction funds will be going into areas that Hamas still controls. And as far as the demilitarization goes, once the ISF is up, there needs to be a security force that they can feel safe from, that in order for it to be the transition to be complete. So that needs to happen. There are considerations happening now in the area that the IDF controls, as long as that can be secured, to start the construction as a new Gaza, in order to give the Palestinians living in Gaza a place to go, a place to get jobs, a place to live. So that's one of the many things being
True,
considered.
SoCal.
Right now, again, there's been several work streams that have occurred over the last years. Those are all being synthesized and updated here at the center, and then they'll go.
Guys, okay. You know how hard it is to hear them? Next time the camera pans out, look at the wall behind them. They're right next to these giant fans, these big fans that are pumping air into this room in this warehouse. Now, I don't know about you, but that is the worst place to have a press conference, next to giant industrial fans. And it makes me wonder who planned this press conference. Because if it was the Israelis, I would not be surprised if they set them up next to these giant fans on purpose as sort of a backhand, as sort of a backhand, as a sort of a slap in the face, because they're frustrated with the Americans who are trying to slow them down. Again, that's complete conjecture on my part, but look at the wall behind them, okay? That might be one of the reasons why it's so hard to hear them. And you can hear the fans in the background. All right.
President Trump and the Board of Peace to get recommendations on what to build, how to phase it, but it's definitely something now.
Thank you, elevator lady. Thank you. Still doing it, elevator lady.
Great. Sir?
Thank you so much, sir, for your support to the good state.
Oh, sorry. Why don't we do the guy in the back, and then we'll do you in the blue jacket. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much,
Go ahead.
Mr. Vice President.
Could you speak up for me?
Yeah, I will try. So thank you so much, Mr. Vice President. And my question is, from the level of cooperation that you just saw today here in this place, and how you see the, let's say, future of normalization in Israel in the region, if you see like a cooperation, growing cooperation between Israel and other Gulf states that we don't see from the outside.
Yeah, well, I think Steve put it best, which is that this model, I think, could serve for a foundation for normalization, not just in the Middle East, but across the world. Because what we're taking, again, is a
Oh yeah, so that Trump can end what, the 8th war, the 9th war that he claims to have ended.
A model that can lead towards sustainable peace.
I would
Now,
be able to
we
end
know
10
that a lot of
wars.
our Gulf Arab friends would like to have normalized relations
Bullshit.
with Israel. We know that getting this peace on a sustainable
Matt
pathway
Saigai,
is
what'd you say, Matt
critical
Saigai?
first step of that. But
I don't
look,
have my glasses
feel very
on.
optimistic
I'm missing a
about
lot
where
of
we are.
messages
Knock on
here.
wood, you never know how this stuff is going to go. But given what I've seen, given the incredible talent and effort that's going in to the reconstruction of Gaza, to the long-term security of the Gaza territory, I feel very good about where we are. And again, if we get this right, I really do think it's going to be a domino that leads to a lot of further peace all across the region. So,
a lot of further peace. Hey. Okay. They didn't, Alan. It was Israel who said they did, and the United States is frustrated with it, I would guess, just from the language you hear them using here. But you're right. Trump is a loose cannon, and he has made it, you know, he says whatever he wants, right?
It ended up working out, as you know, sometimes calendars are difficult, especially when you're the Vice President of the United States.
And by the way, folks,
check in on things.
you all know I'm not being pro-America here. They have selfish reasons why they're doing this, and we don't even know if what I'm saying is 100% true, but it's just interesting.
Talk to the troops who are working very hard to coordinate this massive relief effort, and I wanted to just see how things are going and put some eyes on it, so I could call the President of the United States and actually, you know, it's one thing to read about it. It's one thing to talk with Jared and Steve on the phone about what's going on the ground. It's another thing to actually shake somebody's hand, to look them in the eye, and to understand what are the challenges, what are the things they need from me. I mean, I heard for relatively junior troops very simple things that would make their lives easier that I'm going to take back to Washington and hopefully help them with. That's why you do a visit like this, not because of anything that's happening on the ground. On your question about what is the ultimate, authority in Gaza
I support that,
like,
SoCal.
I don't know the answer to that question. And I think what's so cool, what's so amazing about what these guys have done
So cool, bro. So cool, bro.
Very flexible to what happens on the ground in the future. We need to reconstitute Gaza. We need to reconstruct Gaza. We need to make sure that both the Palestinians living in Gaza, but also the Israelis, are able to live in some measure of security and
But maybe
stability.
give the Israelis, the Palestinians a state.
To the point where both the Gazans and our Israeli friends can have some measure of security, then we'll worry about what the long-term governance of Gaza is. Let's focus on security, rebuilding, giving people some food and medicine. If we get to the point where we're arguing
Elevator lady,
what
like
the governance structure in Gaza is long-term,
yeah, he may have been with I don't know.
A very good problem to have, but I won't anticipate
I'm not sure why.
before we actually have it. I'll take a couple more and we'll get moving. Man,
Maybe he's allergic to his wool couch or something.
could you speak up? Thank you.
Matt
Well,
Sai
the
guy.
incentives
It's
are
just
that
paint
this
Matt Sai
arms
guy. I
agreement
just
will be
saw it.
Very bad things are going to happen, right? And also the incentive is that if they disarm, there is a better future for everybody on the other side of it. But in terms of the international security,
Right,
force,
Weird Amorphous Blob.
Steve and
Oh,
Jared
hello, Weird
Admiral
Amorphous
Cooper
Blob, by
are
the way.
working on that very issue
Glad to see
right
you here,
now.
Weird Amorphous
Remember,
Blob.
This peace deal was
I
struck
believe it,
under
SoCal.
the president's leadership literally a week ago. The hostages were returned, 6 days ago, 5 days ago? So we're in the phase now where we're actually starting to conceptualize what that international security force would look like. I think it's important for Americans to know a couple of things. Number one, there are not going to be American boots on the ground in Gaza. The President of the United States has made that very clear. All of our military leadership has made that very clear. What we can do is provide some useful coordination. How do you take, the Gulf area?
Okay, it's almost over, folks.
Plus Israel,
Okay.
plus, plus the Turks, plus the Indonesians. How do you actually get those folks to work together in a way that actually produces long-term peace? The only real mediators are the
I just love how the Palestinian people themselves are not being talked about at all. At all. It's what all these other countries want. What do the Palestinian people want?
I'd like to ask about a different threat. We see Iran rearming again.
No, it's not, Matt Saga. It's just it's some sort of something I got on Amazon.
That's the very last part.
Athena body paint.
The U.S. Army to attack again in Iran like you did in the last time in Poland.
Well, I'm not going to make any announcements here today. The President of the United States has been very clear about our policy with regards to Iran. It's that he actually wants Iran to be prosperous. He wants to have good relations with the Iranians.
Then maybe stop bombing
them. They
them.
cannot have a nuclear weapon. And so we're going to keep on using and exhausting every diplomatic
Exactly,
means
Big Braden.
possible to
Like,
try to ensure that
what do the
Iran does not have a
Palestinians
nuclear
want?
weapon. That's our focus, and that will remain our focus for the indefinite future. Let me just leave
Absolutely,
us with
weird
one
amorphous blob.
final thought here.
How
So,
can you have a real
I've been to Israel
democracy
once in
if
my
all the
entire
decisions are
life. I
being
came for
made for
about
you
36
by
hours,
outside countries?
and as a Christian, I think the world's Christians will
Oh,
know
Jesus
that this
Christ.
country,
Oh.
this region of the world means a great deal to me. And at some point today,
Thou
I hope to
shalt
go,
not
or at
bane a
some point in
couch,
the next
JD
couple of days, I
Vance.
should say, I hope to go to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which Christians believe
Oh,
is the
Jesus
site that
Christ. All
Jesus
this
Christ was
superstructural
crucified.
posturing. I
And
can't.
I know that Christians have many titles for Jesus Christ, and one of them is the Prince of Peace. And I'd ask all people of faith, in particular my fellow Christians, to pray that the
Sorry.
Prince of Peace can continue to work a miracle in this region of the world. I think that we have made incredible strides over the past week. We're going to have to make a lot more, but I think with your prayers, with God's providence, and with a very good team behind
All
me,
right,
I
the
think we'll get it
prayers,
done.
that'll help.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Oh my God. Okay. All the clapping. Okay. See. Look, all these industrial-sized fans and stuff in the back. Okay. All right, Kay. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I couldn't help but laugh at that last part there. Yeah, it totally is. Yeah, yeah. But the consistent aggressor is Israel. 100%. Okay. Oh my God. Woo. Woo. Yeah, right, yeah, in your groove, right? They have no right. Jesus said he came with a sword. Right, Drusilla? Okay, yeah, I wasn't even referring to that, Drusilla, but we could totally get to that, okay? How we can selectively quote. And Drusilla, as soon as I'm done with the stream, I'm gonna reach out with Punk Apostate because I'm sad if I missed his message. Oh, RPP, of course he doesn't. Of course he doesn't. As a matter of fact, I don't want to get into that. But you're right, RPB. Okay. Hello, Tiago. Okay. So, Jesus Christ, I'm glad that's over. All right. So, folks, I'm going to put my face back up here for a second, and then we are going to do something else here. First of all, hello for those that are watching. For those that are watching, Matt's okay. For those that are watching, if you're over on Twitch, we got I think 6 or 7 people over on Twitch. Please subscribe if you haven't already for using your Amazon Prime for free, or just subscribe regularly. If you do, you get access to a bunch of cute little emojis, of which there were a bunch of new ones now. I uploaded a bunch of new emojis for subscribers over on Twitch. Also, if you're over on YouTube, you can become a channel member for as little as 99 cents a month, and you get access to exclusive members only emojis, and you get access to an archive that I'm still creating. There's several videos in there of the past lessons I've done on live stream for as little as 99 cents a month. Also on this screen here in the lower right here, right where the hand is reaching. I'm really bad at calculating this. In the corner, God damn it, why can't there we go? Right there is down there in that corner is a QR code if you want to send me something through Buy Me a Coffee. Which will count towards the goal. If you do send me buy me a coffee, you can do it. Post a coffee emoji, in the chat, and then that'll count towards our goal, our super chat goal. Now we have made it to 5 super chats, which means if we get 2 more, we will do a Q&A, and if we get 5 more, we will do a not a members only, I'm sorry, a Jester After Dark stream on Twitch tonight, okay? So there you go. I'm done self-promoting. Okay. Woo! And by the way, folks, at the end, if you're over on Twitch, at the end of this stream, I am going to raid a fellow creator who raided me yesterday. So I'm just letting you know. It would be nice if we get as many people over to Twitch as possible today, just so that when I do raid, the person we're raiding will get a lot more viewers after I'm done. But anyway, okay. So some other things I wanted to talk about. Okay. Other I want to talk about. Let's see here. We got I'm energetic. I don't know why. I think I feel liberated now that that's over. So I wanted to do something, if I can remember what it was now. Give me a second here. Matt Saigai, that wasn't my mistake. They weren't uploading. I have to exactly elevator later. Freedom from Vance. They weren't uploading. I had to change a setting. They should be uploading now. Matt Saigai. The issue is we watch music that, let's put it this way, it might be copyrighted, so I can't post the After Dark streams because of that. But the other streams are posted or will be posted. Okay. Anyway. All right. So now what we're gonna do or will be posted. Okay. Anyway. All right. So now what we're gonna do or will be posted. Okay. Oh, I just accidentally opened Twitch here. Okay. So what we're gonna do is I want to do some Discord reactions here. So we'll do that. Let's see here. Okay. So I'm gonna pull up some Discord reactions. I had a presentation for today. We'll hold off on doing it for the sake of time. But let's see here. Reactions. If JMac is watching, I still need to chat with you, JMac. As I said I would. Okay, where's the reactions channel? Here we go. Community. There it is, reactions. Okay, so let's see what we got here to react to. Yeah, okay. Ooh, Papadaka. Are you here, Papadaka? I would love to watch that. That looks good. You know what? No, that looks even better. So we'll definitely do a Papadaka once, but first, Doug on the left, let me see how long this is. 49 minutes. You know, let me see what else there is. So there's an interview with Graham Plattner I'd like to watch too. Druzilla. Let's watch. This is a short one. Let's watch this, and then if Papadoc is here, we'll start watching his. Okay. So we're gonna watch this here. Let me make sure the sound is on, etc. Okay. All right. So this is gonna be a short one. Hey, Alyssa, what's up? Is this the one, Druzilla? I think this is the one you posted. Okay. Oh, it's you in your group. Okay, Papadaka. Then we will watch yours right after this. Okay, this is shorter. Yeah. We'll watch that too, Doug. Okay, so give me a second here. I'm going to let me just fix some things here. I think I need to go back to the face screen. Yeah, I need to actually make sure you guys can see the screen now that I moved it to a new one. There's that. Okay, application audio capture. Okay, so all right. Okay, Alan, we will. It's a longer one, so I kind of want to wait to watch it. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's a Wednesday, but okay. All right, let me just make sure my face is up now. Okay, so let's watch this. This was sent by Druzilla. Thank you, Druzilla. It's a short one. Then we'll watch perhaps the other one, the one that Papadaka sent. It might be long too, but we have time to watch it though. So let's do this here. Thank you, Druzilla, for sending this. Okay, it's called "Freezing Eggs is Hard on the Man" too. Oh, this is Gianmarco. Okay, thank you. All right. Oh, I got you, Druzilla. Okay, I'll take a look, Druzilla. All right, here we go.
My girlfriend got her eggs frozen last year, which was my idea. I told her instead of getting serious, we should defy God's will. And I went with her to the consultation, and the doctor, he showed us this laundry list of injections she would need to get. And I care about her. I said, are there any side effects, all these shots? And he said, worst case scenario, it's like PMS times 10. And I was like, I didn't know that was a unit of measurement too.
Glad to see you.
I said, why, Doc, why? And he said, well, because once a day she's going to need to get a full injection of estrogen, which, if you don't know, that's like dating a werewolf and injecting the moon. And then, you know, there's more.
Okay, yeah, he's funny. I don't know if I should laugh because, okay, well, we'll watch.
More shots to make the eggs bigger, and you got to time it with the cycles, and you know, there's a surgery. I had no idea how many scientific miracles it took for a woman to have a career. And we got the eggs. I want you to know that we got a bunch of eggs, and I was so relieved until I read about that fucking judge in Alabama who ruled that embryos are now considered people.
Oh, God.
And I know eggs and embryos aren't the same thing, but you see the way our country's going. We're like 2 rulings away from my girlfriend becoming a mother of 19. Republicans always act like they're helping families, but think about that. 19 kids growing up without a father.
It's okay, Weirdomorphous Blob. If you okay, that's fair. Weirdomorphous Blob says, "Hey, I need to consume estrogen every day. I am I eating the moon? Right, right. That's funny. What he just said is funny. Matt Saigai, unfortunately, like the After Dark streams that where I play music, yeah, I will clip those though. I can clip those so you can watch the parts where there's no music. Hey, Dolly Boy.
I think the more you zoom in on the pro-life philosophy, the more insane it is. This judge is basically saying if any of my cum gets on those eggs, they automatically become fully fledged human beings. I can't come on someone until I stop seeing them as a human being.
Oh God. Oh my God. Okay, he does seem funny. I need to watch more of his stuff. Okay, that was funny. Thank you, Drusilla. He's very blunt, that's for sure. Okay. Apparently, yeah, which should be in line with the American Constitution. Yeah, no, you're Matt Saigai, you're right. That's why he was funny. Now, by the way, folks, for the folks that like him, this is all I've ever seen of him is that one clip. So I still need to watch more of him, but I wasn't sure if I should laugh because I don't know him well enough to know that he's like joking. You see what I mean? It was some of those things about women. It's kind of like, okay, you see what I mean? But anyway, it's okay. Uh, yeah, okay. Anyway, but okay. I just need to see more of him. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Uh, oh, well, that's great. Excellent elevator later. I need to watch his Palestine stuff. Okay, is he okay? Then, folks, all right, that's fair. If I then I can, it's sometimes it's good to have the context of what a person means. Like for example, George Carlin would say some pretty offensive things, but in the context of him, it's hilarious, right? So I just need to watch more of his stuff. But he does seem very funny. Um, okay. All right. Let's see what else we got here. I think so. We'll start watching. Uh, let's see here. All right. So I'm gonna watch. This is another short. This is a TikTok short from Alyssa. Let's watch this real fast. And then.
So we went to the Boston Tea Party last night, and it was pretty good. Most people were.
Okay, let me make sure. Let me just move stuff around so I can actually see it. Okay, so this is um yeah, no, you're right, Mithra. Like, so, folks, please don't get me wrong. I'm not one that's like super sensitive about, I guess, jokes like that. But I need to know the context first. He seems funny. I just need to know him better. Okay, all right, that's hilarious, Drusilla. Okay, um, Winterlinde. Ah, Winterlinde. That's a good joke, actually. Winterlinde. When I went to Germany, I quickly realized that I should stop smiling so much because my German friends would like when I'd be smiling a lot, they'd be like, "Why are you smiling so much? You look like a crazy person." Because it's sort of a German cultural norm. Oh, I got you, Mithra. Okay, a German cultural norm that you don't smile like you don't do it excessively, which is in the Midwestern United States. It's the opposite. It's the opposite. Okay, it's the opposite. You like smile all the time. So that's funny, Winterlinde. Okay. Okay. All right.
So we went to the
Okay.
Boston Tea Party last night, and it was pretty good. Most people were fine. Of course, after the event was over, some troublemakers threw tea into the ocean. But I gotta say, I know a lot of those tea merchants, and they're really good guys. And I just hate so much that people are making fun of the tea merchants. I mean, like, they have to be there, guys. It's their job.
Okay. So that was good too. Let's All right, guys. So let's go into react. I'm gonna maybe let's see find something else here to react to. I think I'll do the one that uh, what's his Papadakis sent in your groove. So all right, this one is longer, I think. We'll actually no, it's not. It's only 13 minutes. Perfect. So we'll watch this one. This one is 60 minutes. Fire Justice Department lawyer blows the whistle on what he describes as abuses of power at the DOJ. Christ, and it's only 13 minutes. You'd expect that to be very, very long. Okay. So we will all right. So let's watch this. Um okay. Uh Matt Saiga, I will clip the horror films thing yesterday, and then hopefully, um, uh, you'll be able to see it. Okay, I just need to make the clip. Okay, yeah, go folks. Yeah, for those who wanted to see the horror film ranking yesterday, we didn't finish it, but I'll clip it so you can see it on Twitch. Okay, yeah, no problem, Louise. You know I got all your backs. Okay. So let's watch this. Thank you very much in your group for sending this. Let's see what happens. Let's put it this way. It depends on if you're prosecutorial or defense when it comes to immigration law. But I've known a few immigration attorneys. I don't really know them anymore. They're some of the nicest, best people I've met because a lot of them really do care about immigrants. I mean, they got into that field for a reason, typically to assist immigrants through the immigration process. And a lot of times they don't make much money. I mean, not all the time, but, and yeah, by the way, a blatant violation of the Due Process Clause of the Constitution, blatant violation. As a matter of fact, when the Alien and Sedition Acts came out a long time ago, like right after the country was founded, not very long after the country was founded, it sparked massive debates, and chunks of it were actually overturned because it was considered against the Constitution. Yeah. But of course, who cares about the Constitution anymore? I don't even know why I bring it up. Like, clearly, the Trump administration doesn't give a shit about things like due process. And by the way, it's supposed to apply to anyone on American soil, including immigrants. Okay. Anyway, yeah, absolutely, Dolly Boy. Some of the worst policy from the early onset of the country. Okay.
Felt like
Remember, though, this is a big problem with the American system, folks, is that the judicial branch really doesn't have an enforcement mechanism for its rulings. So there's not much stopping the executive from ignoring the courts if they rule against them. Um, Traditionally, the executive branch has generally followed the courts. I mean, obviously, not perfectly, but anyway, it's an issue. Without the judicial court being able to stop the executive or the legislative from passing unconstitutional law, there is nothing preventing the executive branch from doing whatever it wants. Literally. I mean, if the judicial branch has no say, then they can violate the Constitution whenever they want, however they want, and there's nothing to stop them.
Ellsberg called a hearing and
Except for the legislative branch, which could impeach, but and it was ignored, and the planes took off with the migrants anyway. And the Trump administration claimed after, well, sorry, they were already in the sky. They were already in the sky, even though the judge had ordered them to be turned around and such. I mean, real dark times, obviously. Just ignoring the court.
specifically ordered us to not remove anyone and to return anyone in the air. But that didn't happen.
Yeah. So, okay, real fast. In your groove, you're right. In theory, a judge could deputize marshals and drag people into court to hold them in contempt of court. The issue with that, in your groove, is that if there were marshals sent after the president of the United States, for example, or some of his officials, what do we think would happen? The executive security forces would literally get into a shootout with these marshals. So you're right. Technically, they could deputize, but they never would, because they don't want to cause conflict between different branches of government. Now, if it was one of us, they might deputize, right? Anyway, but yeah, but that's a fair point in your groove. I got you in your groove. Forgive me. I wasn't trying to like argue with you. But you actually make a good point. Um, uh, yeah, this is crazy. Listening to this guy, this is a really good one in your groove. This is disturbing. Yeah, he is just mad he got fired, Alyssa. He probably wouldn't have cared otherwise. Uh, yep. Yep, God, you guys are so right, but it does like constitutionally been doing it pretty easily regardless. Correct. Hello, Dubois. Okay. Um. All right, guys, let's continue.
In a phone call from a superior, he was ordered to argue against Abrego Garcia's return by telling a judge that Abrego Garcia was an MS-13 gang member
Jesus Christ.
and a terrorist.
Do you remember when Trump was like, he literally has MS-13 on his what is it, his fingers? Literally has it, and it's not literally on the guy's fingers. Anyway, okay.
And I respond so
In his defense, though, that's a bit of a big word for Trump to understand, right? Literally, what that's one literally, that's 4 syllables. I mean, we can't expect Trump to understand what that word. So, okay, yes, he's probably mad he got fired. I will say this though. There is like you can be banned from the bar, like you can have your lawyering license thing revoked. I don't know why I'm having trouble thinking the phrase here. By being so explicitly against the law. And so he does have a point. Like maybe the reason he didn't do it, he's like, this is too humiliating. This could make me get my bar license revoked. Like this is such an obvious lie, and it's illegal to lie to the to the judicial branch, etc. Like, so maybe he might have professional ethics, which I know is a strange thing for a lot of these folks to have, but it is possible, that he does have professional ethics. It might not just be because he was upset he got fired. Thank you, SoCal disbarred. He could get boy. Okay, so you're right, Dolly boy. The cynic in me can only see him complaining. I would say that professional ethics is also partially cynical, okay? And don't get me wrong, I could be completely wrong about this. I might be giving the guy too much of the benefit of the doubt here. The cynic, okay, so it is kind of cynical to try to protect your legal reputation. He might not be, it's not necessarily a moral reason, but it is a professional reason why you wouldn't want to lie because you could get sanctioned or you could get disbarred. You could lose your legal license. But I don't know. You're right. It could just be that he's upset he got fired. I'm kind of being my weird historian self and giving out options, even though I mean I suspect it was just because he got fired, but there are other options too. Um, okay. Yeah, and it's good that he did blow the whistle. I mean that's admit it, regardless of why he did it, it's a good reason. It's good that he did it. Um, yeah. Okay. That's weird, Alyssa. Okay, that's okay. Um, Yeah, absolutely in your groove. And that so I still like appreciate him. This is great.
The judges have specifically said what the government is providing me is false information and my
Of course,
Bovee
legal
was
answer.
confirmed for the judgeship.
That is a legal answer. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point in your groove. They would call him a communist. That's a really good point in your groove. I may have understated that. Yeah, he didn't say no. That is a legal answer, folks. Yeah, elevator. Okay. When you say I don't recall, it is an avoiding lying to you don't want to perjure yourself. So instead of saying yes or no, especially if the answer is yes, because if you say no, it's a lie, you'll say I don't recall because that allows you to get around answering the question without implicating yourself in your groove. I love 60 Minutes. Really good journalism a lot of the time. Obviously not always, but no one ever gets it always right. But always really good interviews, things like that. Love it. Okay, all right, guys. So I'm gonna put my face back up here. Uh, I know, I get it, Alyssa. I get it. But again, Alyssa, just remember, the results of what he did was, regardless of his intentions behind it, him being a whistleblower is a danger to him. Um, and is good for us. Um, oh, weird amorphous blob. You're not joking. Okay, I mean you're right. Okay, all right, guys. So we can do some Q&A here. We got enough. If we get 3 more, or we'll say like $10 more. If we get 3 more super chats of $2 or more, that could also be a subscription, whatever it may be. Um, um, Alyssa, yes, he did. He did reveal a bunch of documents and stuff. He brought a bunch of documents with him, etc. I get it though, Alyssa. I don't like giving credit to anyone in the Trump administration, but yeah. Okay. So let's do a Q&A here. Again, if we get what, 3 more super chats or $10 more. We can do a Jester After Dark stream. Uh, and we Let's so we can do a Q&A now. The rules of the Q&A are as follows, okay? You can ask me things about my personal life, anything about politics, about history, about anthropology. I withhold the right if it's too personal, I will hold the right because it's not an after dark stream. I hold the right to not answer it, but you can ask me almost anything, okay? Oh my gosh, my light's just going out. Oh no. JMac, we already watched Trump. I'm sorry to say. Okay, so what I'm going to do, folks, is please go ahead. If you can just put some questions there. Again, it can be about anything. It can be about politics too. It can be serious stuff. It can be kind of silly stuff. Just we're going to have kind of a conversation here. So, well, what do you all think? What do you want to ask me about? And again, folks, if we get 3 more super chats or $10 more, and that can also include buy me a coffees. It can buy other things. Um, you can see the verbal diarrhea and the VOD. Yeah, for sure, in your groove. And you'll be able to watch it after I upload it if you want to go back and watch it. Okay. Um, that's right. Matt Guy, thank you, Matt Guy. You are the best. You are my favorite. Okay, there you go, Matt Guy. Okay. All right. Alan. So, Alan, Alan asks, what are the odds of a massive war breaking out under Trump, like the kind that would require a draft? I suspect, Alan, now this is just my opinion. I suspect that won't happen. The reason for that is because it would be very the Trump administration drafts are always deeply unpopular. Okay, and I just don't think they will want to do that. There's still a lot of pressure because of like since the Vietnam War, there's been always a lot of fear about any government doing a draft. Um, Now, of course, Trump could fuck something up really badly, and then that could cause that to happen. But I don't see it as being very likely. More than likely, it would just be troops on the ground that are already in the military. Like if we were to go to war with Venezuela or something, I don't think it is likely that we would do the draft again because, admittedly, folks, the Trump administration knows that the American people would be infuriated if they were drafted. So, unless the United States itself is invaded or directly attacked, like in an obvious way, I don't think that'll happen. Yeah, Alyssa. Exactly, weird amorphous blob. It would be a power thing for Trump. They wouldn't want to lose their power by doing a draft. Okay. A good question, Alan. That's just my opinion, though. I can't be certain. Uh, JMac, what are the chances we don't have a midterm election due to some fake made up BS? JMac, I suspect that. Okay. You guys can disagree with me on this. I suspect we will have midterms. You'll have to understand, folks. Uh, if the Trump administration were to try to suppress the midterms, now I suspect that they will have the midterms. Does that mean they're going to make them fair? No, thank you, Malzord. Again, you're beating me to it. There will be an illusion of midterms. At the worst that they would do, I think, is have midterms and then do everything in their power to suppress the vote, do everything in their power to make people afraid to go to the polls. If they were to actually cancel the midterms, you know what that would instantly do? It would instantly radicalize almost the entire Democratic Party, because then all those Democratic elites too will feel their power going away, which will lead them to take more drastic action also, because that's the one thing they care about is their power. So they might. I think there will be midterms. Does it mean that they will be fair? I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I mean, I don't. Okay. Um, okay. So that would be my thought on it. Yeah, Alan, that's a good question. Do you have an emergency escape plan? Like, for example, being in Florida. Being in Florida, Claudia Sheinbaum makes Mexico look more appealing. You're pretty close to Canada. You're right, Alan. I don't have a plan. I, yeah, yes, I would. I wish I did. There was a while where I was considering trying to get citizenship in the Netherlands. Um, It's a country I really like the Netherlands. It's not perfect, but I don't have a plan right now. I'm also worried that I feel okay, this sounds self-aggrandizing. I feel that I uh, I would be doing a disservice to the people I care about here to leave while my knowledge and skills about things like fascism are needed here. So if I'm worried if I did develop a plan, it would be too inspiring for me to leave. You see what I mean? As in, I would want to leave more. But that could change if I feel directly threatened. Absolutely. Okay. Uh, I don't blame people who do want to leave too. Let's see here. Let's see what else we got here. Meowzord, yeah, it is. My passport is up to date. I did make sure of that, Meowzord. Um, all right. Okay. It's complicated because under the Constitution, they cannot cancel the election, even declaring. Yeah, you're right. And that's why I'm like, I don't think they could. Like, that would just cause an issue. I care about you, Matt Saiga, okay? Matt Saiga, how long will I last in a draft? Matt Saiga, you would last forever, okay? You'd be a powerful fighter, okay? Not that, though actually, Matt Saiga, you could file for a conscientious objector status, which is rarely granted, but you probably have a history of being a pacifist, so you might not even have to fight. Um, okay. Okay. Dubois, to me, if midterms happen and the left doesn't, okay. Uh, I'm sorry, guys. There's a lot of good comments here. I'm just trying to go back up and find them. Okay. Yeah, you guys are making great comments about the draft and about the possibility of the midterms being suppressed. Yeah, no, hey, uh, I mean, Dubois, I would not be surprised. I am more worried about the 2028 elections than I am about the midterms. And how long would you last in the draft? It depends, Matt Saiga. Where are we going to war? Okay. Um, yeah, absolutely. SoCal. Um, you could stream it exactly. Listen, I could stream anywhere. But also, it's also partially like I just don't want to abandon people here. Anyway, for how long? And also, I don't know if I could afford to move monetarily. Also, so there's that. Um, okay. What else am I missing here? Weird Marvel, how long do you think they'll be able to milk the Antifa domestic warfare claims? Because I feel like the steam from that is not enough to last for years. And what do you think they'll jump to next? Weird Amorphous Blob, you're right. And I would guess, Weird Amorphous Blob, that there will eventually, as the Trump administration puts more and more pressure on people and suppresses more rights, eventually you're going to have someone do violence. That is just what happens. It may be a left winger. Okay, it probably will be a left winger. That's just what happens when you keep impressing people. And then what will the Trump administration do? Oh, we're the victims. And they will keep reinforcing that idea of being the victims and things like that. On top of that, they're sending more and more troops into cities. And there's so many guns in this country. Eventually, someone's going to point a gun at those troops. And it might be a lefty. And so I am deeply worried that even though, so they've now enacted the law against quote unquote Antifa, and now they're going to get more and more excuses to use it probably moving forward if there's more and more violence like that. Okay. Um, that would be my thought. Okay. Yeah, there you go, Dubois. I have ADHD, so I wouldn't get drafted. I'm also think I'm too old now because I'm 35, so I'm probably a bit too old now. CR, Matt Saiga, do you have plans of running for president? If yes, I'll be the Secretary of State. Matt Saiga, I do not have plans to run for president. I'm not rich enough for that. Okay. All right. Um, uh, okay. That's hilarious. Okay, I just got to work. What is the TLDR? A bunch of nonsense, to be honest. Okay. That's true. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I missed a few people's comments. Let me go back here. I think I saw a good one here. How about in your groove? Uh, how about something more lighthearted? Hot dog is a sandwich or a taco? In your groove, okay? A hot dog, I would definitely say a hot dog is a hot dog. I don't think it's a sandwich. It's not a sandwich. It's a hot dog, and it's not a taco either. It's just a hot dog. It's just a hot dog. I don't know what to say. I have heard this debate before. I am firmly in the belief that it's a hot dog. Okay, because in the Midwest, by the way, in the Midwest, we have something called hot dog sandwiches, and they are two pieces of bread with a sliced hot dog in between it. Therefore, a hot dog sandwich is not the same as a hot dog. Okay, so a hot dog, you see what I mean? It's not a sandwich. All right. Then it's not a taco either. It's just a hot dog. Okay. Uh, Meow Zord and Alyssa, I love it. Okay. Okay. So, okay. Let's see what else we got here. I missed a few here again too. If you become okay, J Mac, yes, you can be the minister of propaganda. Okay. Meowzord, what's my zombie plan? Oh, my zombie plan. So Meowzord, I would likely try to run to an island somewhere. There's an island up in um at the tip of Michigan. Yes, I thought about this. There's an island in what is it? Lake Huron up on Michigan called Mackinac Island. It's a very small island. And I would go to an island near about it's near fresh water, so there'd be plenty of fresh water. Now, a lot of people might be rushing there, so we'd have to keep cleansing the island of the infected in case, and prevent. We'd have to become basically the Trump administration in terms of immigration on that island, make sure no infected people get on there. But I would run to that island probably specifically, and it's next to a couple other islands that one could flee to via boat if Mackinac Island itself got infected and overrun. Um, okay. Oh, no, I haven't yet, Trump failed. We'll do it though, okay, at some point here. Um, yeah, it does have an airport in your group. It has a small airport. Um, okay. All right, let me see here. I'm sorry, folks. You got a lot of good questions here. I'm trying to find. All right. A verbal contract. I have a witness. Correct. Okay, if you need a passport. A lot of great loony banter going back here. Okay. Just feel like it'd be super fun. Um, all right. Do you think I do think you're a pacifist, Matt? So, like, didn't you tell me you're a pacifist? Um, okay. Uh, okay, guys. Any other questions here? I don't see any here. I'm loving the convo though. Uh, oh, well, thank you, Alan. Am I into sports at all? So, folks, I used to play soccer, also called football. Okay. I used to play a lot of soccer, played it in high school, etc. I really enjoy playing soccer. I haven't played it for a long time though. And I don't watch it really anymore. The one thing, because I'm in Central Ohio, folks, the Buckeyes, which is the Ohio State football team, Ohio State University football team, is very popular here. And though I try to avoid being into it, I can't help it because that's all that anyone ever talks about. So I do occasionally watch Ohio State football games. Just so I don't get publicly humiliated by not knowing what's happening. But I do. So yeah, I do like that. I do like, I guess, football, college football to some extent. Not much though, to be honest with you. Um, yeah. Trying to think. There's other things I like too. That are kind of, I guess, aren't really sporty. Yes. Alan. Yeah, we definitely can beat Michigan, Alan. Michigan has zero chance, Alan. Okay. How dare you, Alan? Okay. All right. Uh, wh- I played center fullback, Dolly Boy. center fullback. I'm very good at defense. At least I was. Um, okay. That's fair, Doug, on the left. I don't watch many sports. I weirdly enough, whenever I've watched hockey, I've enjoyed hockey. Um, okay. So let me go back here. What's the most shameful media consumption CR? Um, one second. I think I misunderstood. Uh, what is the most? I'm gonna go back here. I'm having trouble seeing here. Yes, I will do that. I will do that presentation on the impact because I that is something I do know a lot about is sports and politics and history and things like that because it's super interesting. Um, all right, I missed someone's comment here about something about uh, and that might be why I like hockey. It's a bunch of attractive. Anyway, Mithril, what's your most shameful media consumption CR? Oh, Mithril, how dare you? Okay, my most shameful media consumption. You all, oh my God, I'm gonna get crushed here. I am gonna get crushed. I am gonna get crushed here. Uh, I'm gonna get crushed here. Oh Jesus Christ. Okay, I don't even know if I want to say it. I love watching. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. Okay, I love watching police videos. I know, I know, I know. I am subscribed to so many, like, police video things of, like, police, uh, going to crimes and things. I know, okay, I know. I know I am blushing. I am a lefty. I know. Okay. I know. Yeah, like PD type. Like, yes, Alyssa, okay, like I am obsessed with like body cam footage. Yeah, and like, um, uh, I know Mithril. That's why I didn't want to say anyone to say it out loud because it is. I know, because I'm a lefty and I do not like the police. Okay, like yeah, those like interrogation videos. I just cannot. I know Weird Amorphous Blob. Okay, I know I'm a bad person. I just love. I love police videos. I'm subscribed to like a bunch of like police type video things on so that's my most shameful thing I enjoy, okay? It's a psychological fascination. But that is like something like a lot of times when I'm trying to go to bed at night, uh I will watch police videos. Uh or like if I'm trying to like if it's just something to like enjoy on YouTube, I'll just pull up a police video. I don't know why. Yeah, audits I love that too. Yeah, so I know it's a personal flaw of mine. Okay. Um, and so I love police videos. I can't help it. And yeah, and will admittedly, you do learn a lot watching them because most of the time it helps me understand uh what a lot of times people get arrested and they shouldn't be getting arrested because they have a mental health issue or something. Um, how dare you, Trump failed, okay? So yes. Me too, J-Mac. I love the ones where the cops get sued or charged with a crime afterwards, or where the criminals get away. But I also, guys, admittedly, I also like the videos where actually bad people get arrested. I know I am not a fan of police, but I do get some amount of pleasure from watching people who really are not pleasant people like child abusers or like if anyone's ever seen videos of like child predators being arrested. Yeah, exactly, Meowzord. Like I do enjoy watching those people get arrested. I know I shouldn't because I would never promote any of that. Yeah, okay. I do watch the pedo hunter content. Okay. Um anyway, uh yeah. All right. So forgive me. Forgive me. Thank you, Mithril, for humiliating me, okay? All right. Yeah. Okay, exactly, Alyssa. They are. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a fan of police. I think part of it, folks, is I had an uncle who was a police officer. He ended up dying of cancer. And when I was younger, he used to tell us stories. Uh, and he actually almost lost his job because he revealed a bunch of corruption in the Dayton Police Department, and he got intimidated for it. He actually never actually shot his weapon or anything while he was working. Again, I'm not pro police, but after hearing his stories when I was younger, I kind of developed this like interest, kind of like fantasy stories of like the things that police go through, and I never really got over it, even though I'm not a fan of police. But those stories I was told when I was younger kind of prompted that. Anyway, forgive me. Okay, there's my embarrassment. Okay, all right. Uh, let me see here. What else we got here? I know, J Mac. I'm digging the hole. I'm digging the hole even more. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So let me see here. I think I'm probably missed some questions here. The king of trash TV. Yep. Uh, what else, guys? What other questions do we have? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a huge issue with that, Alyssa. Officers assaulting. Oh, thank you, Meowsword. How'd they build the pyramids? I'll tell you how they didn't build the pyramids, Meowsword. I'll tell you how they didn't build the pyramids. And you all can cope if you don't like my response, okay? First of all, it was not aliens. It was not aliens. J-Mac, how dare you? It was not goddamn aliens, okay? I lose my mind. I've met people, maybe some of you are these people. I don't want to be mean, okay? There's a lot of crap out there on the internet and on mainstream television claiming that the pyramids were built by aliens. So you know what, folks? What I did back when I was in college, I did a research project on this because I was deeply annoyed by this, and I uncovered something super interesting. The first people that claimed that the pyramids weren't built by the Egyptians were the French Europeans who went there, and their first thought was, uh, oh, black people couldn't have possibly built these things. Therefore, it must have been some outsider. It must have been some outsider, some probably white outsider who built these things. And if you notice, folks, over time, that theory developed into the alien theory. Now, if you want me to go further into this, does anyone ever say that the Greek Parthenon was built by aliens, or the Roman Colosseum, or any of the other quote unquote, or Stonehenge? Well, maybe Stonehenge. I'm not quite sure. I don't know of anyone who claims those were built by aliens. You know what they do claim were built by aliens? The pyramids, the Mayan pyramids, uh, other things from that were made by the Inca, things that were made, um, uh, okay, like you see what I mean? Uh, you see what I mean? Uh, oh, what I mithril? Okay, I will take a look at that. Okay. Yeah, okay, that Fermat guy. Maybe I'm wrong about the Stonehenge thing, but um, there are a lot of it's kind of most of the overlap there is claiming, yeah, they're much less common because they kind of uh, JMac. Okay, so I will say this. The idea that aliens built these things evolved from explicitly racist ideas. It has evolved past that at this point, where, like, I guess there are some people who claim that, like, Stonehenge was built by aliens, but the origins of that idea were racist worldviews, and now it's just a bunch of nutters. A bunch of nutters. Okay, if you believe these things, I'm not saying you're a nutter. It's a bunch of really dumb archaeologists, or people who claim to be archaeologists. Yes, Alan and Alyssa, yeah, I think there are aliens out there. Do I think they visited Earth? I don't know. I have no evidence that they've visited Earth, but just by a matter of statistics, it would make sense. Um, it would totally make sense that there were that there are other species out there in the universe. It's just too big. So I totally think there are other aliens out there. I have no evidence though that they've visited Earth. No concrete evidence. I would need evidence of that. Uh, um, okay. Um, yeah, Alyssa, I suspect, yes, Alyssa, um, I suspect that, yeah, there probably are other conscious aliens out there. They're probably rare. I suspect that there's probably more like single cell organisms. Well, rare, these are all debatable, but I do think there are. Um, yeah, I agree, weird amorphous blob. They would have to evolve in different environments, right? Uh, and I will say this though, Alyssa, how do we know that other animals on this planet aren't also conscious? There's, like, uh, anyway, see what I mean? Yeah, you are the evidence Matt Sci guy. So like, I don't know if there is really uh conscious animals and not like I feel like all animals are somewhat conscious. Um, I did not, Alyssa. Yeah, Meowsword. This is actually interesting, Meowsword. There are some biologists who theorize that octopuses are non-terrestrial, that they're from another planet. That has been largely disproven, but they're very interesting species and they're very intelligent. Um, I would love to accompany you, Matt Sci Guy, to Area 51. Okay. Um, Matt, wait, what? You asked about hooking up with aliens, JMac? Okay. So, thank you, Trump failed. I made that mistake. Uh, and by the way, so outer signal, the answer to how the pyramids were built, okay? Weirdly enough, outer signal, I'm not criticizing you, outer signal. The pyramids were not built by slaves. At least we're almost certain that they were mainly not built by slave. They were built by paid workers. And almost entirely not by slaves. That was sort of an old way of looking at it. Also, by the way, forgive me for saying this. Yeah, they were paid in beer. And I will say this. You all know my views on religion here, okay? Thank you, Outer Signal. But yeah, I'm not criticizing you, Outer Signal. There is zero evidence that the Hebrews were ever enslaved in Egypt at all. So that the Jewish people were ever enslaved in Egypt. There is zero evidence that the Jewish people ever traveled from Egypt to the Middle East. There is zero evidence that they ever went to a place called Mount Sinai. A lot of the idea of there being enslaved people in Egypt go back to the Old Testament, but there is zero evidence that there were enslaved Jewish people in Egypt. As a matter of fact, early Israeli settlements in what was at the time called Canaan, or what is today Palestine, are look almost exactly the same as any other indigenous people in that area's settlements. There's no Egyptian influence. They are Canaanite settlements. Early Jewish settlers, or I get Hebrew. They're not. There's a like. I don't want to say the word Jewish here. These were not Jewish folks. They were mainly polytheists. The Hebrew people. Okay, uh, were um, were just like any other group living in that region. They never came from Egypt. But if you're going to write a cool story about your people, which tribal groups do all the time, you would say you escaped from the Egyptians because that was the empire, the powerful empire at the time. Okay. Anyway, so zero evidence backing up any of that. Anyway, just a side note. Uh, how dare you, J Mac? Okay. Uh, yeah, Mithril. I would not be. I have not seen Consciously or Sun Mich. Well, I'm not sure what that is, okay? Uh, that's a fair point, Meowser. I don't know about that, but that's interesting. Yeah, it is. Alyssa, how is it sad, Alyssa? How is deep sea octopus reproduction sad? Um, yeah, I agree, Outer Signal. Uh, by the way, folks, there is also, and again, Matt Saigai can correct. I don't know, Matt Saigai. I think you're a chemist. I'm not sure what your field is here. But so there are people who, for example, no one in chat said this. Oh, yes, Doug. I think Easter Island is fascinating. I'm actually planning, um, I'm actually planning to do a stream sometime on the fall of Easter Island. I think it's super interesting. I will definitely do that. I don't wanna give spoilers. I have a lot of thoughts on it. Meowzord, also not who, but how. Oh, I'm sorry, Meowzord. So there are different theories, Meowzord, on how they were built. They probably used tallow, to, sort of lubricate the bottom of these big blocks and then drag them along, using tallow and water, and oil and things like that. They could have also used logs to do it. There's a lot of different theories out there. Any one of them would work. I believe that the most common one now is that they use tallow lubrication to move the blocks, along with a bunch of manual labor. Sorry if I misunderstood your question there, Meowzord. Uh, okay. So I real fast, folks. I'd love very possibly Meowsword. I honestly, Meowsword, I have not looked into the more recent research in this. There's a lot of research in this. It could have been water displacement, Meowsword. It could have been. That was another theory, is that they used water displacement. So forgive me if I may be missing some of the theories out there. I have not looked into it recently. There may even be. They may even know. They may even know for sure now. I haven't looked up any of the new research. Oh, okay. Thank you, Matt. Okay, never mind, Matt Guy. Uh, yeah, a lever and fulcrum can move the world. You're right, guys. No excuses. Shrek is life. Okay. Uh, teacher. Hey, guys, I've told you if I get rich and famous, which let's be honest, it's probably not going to happen. But if I were to get suddenly rich and famous, I would gladly fund all of us going on a field trip somewhere. That I love field trips. And I would gladly pay for it out of pocket for everyone. Like seriously, if I were to get rich and famous, we could like go to Japan, we could go to Easter Island. I don't give a shit. Okay, love it. Anyway, uh, so, all right. Okay, any other questions here, folks? Okay, thank you, Matt Saiga. Yeah, so I was just gonna say, a lot of people will say that dolphins are more intelligent than humans. Unfortunately, that's kind of misunderstanding the biology. Dolphin brains have a lot of padding because to mitigate heat in the water. So even though they have like bigger, uh, uh, they have they have pretty big brains. A lot of that brain. I know elevator lady. Okay, I love dolphins. They are very intelligent. I'm just saying that it's debated, and it's unclear, elevator lady. It's unclear whether or not they actually do have like more brain capacity. Um, uh, because a lot of that is padding in their brains, essentially. I know, right? Okay. Meowzord, what's your take on the Moai statues? Meowzord, I just got. Yeah, you're right, Alan. Again, though I'm not a biologist, so don't quote me on all this. Right. Okay. Dolphin, Meowzord, what's your take on the Moai statues of Easter Island? Okay, so we already got a question on that, Meowzord. I'm going to do a whole stream on that sometime. It is fascinating. It is very interesting in terms of anthropology, how these Moai statues were used as conflict, competition, and resolution between different groups on the island. I'll talk about it sometime, okay? It became a form of ritualized conflict, and expression of power between different groups on the island, which ultimately ended up in the people on Easter Island depleting their natural environment to the point where they had to start cannibalizing each other. It's super interesting. I will talk about it sometime, okay? It's one of the places I really wanna go. Uh, uh, Thank you, SoCal. Okay, it's octopuses, that's right, not octopi. Okay, Matt Saigai, what's my opinion on toys? Matt Saigai, I love toys. Toys are great, like, especially for children, like, using, like, a ball is fun, a hula hoop is fun. Uh, um, you know, uh, Action figures are fun. I think that's what you mean, Matt Saigai. I think that's what you mean. I think that's what you mean, Matt Saigai. Maybe stop by the After Dark stream if you want to actually ask that. Okay. Meow Sword, what's my opinion on Matt Guy's vaguely sexually charged question? Meow Sword, I don't feel that that's vague at all, but all right. J-Mac, what's this? Margaret, yeah, interesting. I'll have to look into this. Oh my God, no, I think I know this one. I think I know this one. Like, I think I've heard of it. I just saw what you sent me, J-Mac, okay? And again, folks, I am not a, um, biologist here, okay? All right, guys. Drusilla, I know Drusilla. Maybe you do, Drusilla. You might need to leave, okay? Um, J-Mac, wasn't trying to I knew I wasn't making that up in my head, okay? You were not. All right. Yes, I will, Dubois. I could do that. Yesterday I did a stream on the No campaign in Chile. So if you're in Twitch, you should pop the No campaign slogan emoji. But I didn't do a full thing on the coup. There are challenges you can organize group. Yeah, I'd gladly do that in your group. I would absolutely cover I would absolutely do that. Okay. Drusilla, please don't leave. Okay. Uh, SoCal, I didn't mean that as an insult, SoCal, when I called you flirty, okay? I appreciate your flirtiness, SoCal. All right. Um, okay, yeah, what's my favorite robber baron? None of them. Okay, oh, I'll check that out, Elevator, later. Give me a second, I'll check that out. My favorite robber baron? Probably, Carnegie, because he was a monster. I mean, they were all monsters. 'Kay. Trump failed. I know what Bad Dragon is. Okay, I don't need to search it up. Okay, thank you. I've had many teenage students over the years, who have made jokes about it, which required me to look it up. Uh, Let me go back and check that out there, this link you sent me. Um, where is it? Sent by Laws or by Louise. Evil Animals. Interesting. Okay, I will definitely take a look at that, Louise. Did someone send me something else? I thought I saw another thing in here. By the way, folks, if we get if we just get 3 more super chats or 10 more bucks, I will do a second stream tonight. Okay. Uh, how dare you, Victoria? Okay, how dare you? Um, okay, that's right. Okay. Let me see here, folks. I got some other good questions here. All right. Okay, oh, JMac, I swear to God, JMac. Okay. Uh, okay, let me see here. Thank you, elevator lady. Okay, we only need 2 more, folks. I'm sorry, I'm missing some of the comments here, folks. Okay, have I ever done my answer? Who's my favorite dictator? I gotta tell you, folks. Dubois. Okay, folks, we'll do a second stream tonight. Thank you, Dubois. Okay, we just hit the thing. Thank you, elevator lady. Thank you, Dubois. We will do a second stream tonight. Okay. Thank you, Alyssa. We will definitely do second stream tonight. Thank you, Alyssa. Okay, guys, so we'll do an after dark stream tonight. Yeah, this will count. It'll all count, all right? To answer your question about who's my favorite dictator, I think I've answered this before. It's gotta be Hitler. Um, uh, because not okay, obviously, folks, don't quote that. Listen, thank you. Okay, don't quote that, okay? But I think he's super interesting. Yeah, don't you dare quote that shit, okay? Don't you dare clip that. How dare you, J-Mac, okay? You all know, I've said this before, like, I studied at the fascists and things like that. Um, they, just he's an interesting character, historically, obviously, a really fucked up guy. So if I were to choose a dictator that I found the most interesting, it would be Hitler. I probably also shouldn't say that given that I have a bunch of Nazi paraphernalia that my grandfather captured. Okay, anyway. Okay, when is after dark? It'll probably be between Drizella, it'll be between like 7:45. I'll start it between 7:45. No, I'm sorry. 6:45 and 7:45 Eastern time. So, or you could just say between 8 p.m. Eastern time or 9. I'm sorry. God, I can't talk. It'll be between 7 p.m. Eastern time and 8 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. How dare all of you? Don't you dare clip that. Okay. Okay. Another question I got here. Have I ever done have I ever done uh, um, ancestry test? Yes, I have. I have some Neanderthal in me. I'm mainly Italian and German, mainly German, some Italian, a little bit of of Anglo-Saxon English, basically, which is still partially Germanic, and a small amount of Ashkenazi Jewish, and some Cherokee, some native people. Okay. I see. See, how dare you all? You're never gonna let me. Uh, yeah, exactly, Doug. That's why I think Hitler's so interesting. All right, guys. Okay, guys. Yeah, there you go, J Mac. I might be half German, half Italian, but that means I'm 100% fascist. Don't you dare clip that either. You know, I need to be careful about what I say in here. I don't trust you degenerates out there, okay? Yeah, just giving out my DNA to whoever, right, Alyssa? Okay. All right, guys. So this is what we're gonna do. For those that are over on Twitch, I'm going to do a raid. So I'm gonna do a raid. We're gonna raid the gentleman who raided us yesterday, as a peace offering, I guess you could say, or as a okay. So I will do that. By the way, folks, sometime I'll tell you a story about that genetic test because I found out something about my family that had been hidden from me. Maybe we'll talk about that on the After Dark stream. Okay, I found out I had a family member that no one had told me about, but we'll talk about that during the After Dark stream. Okay, anyway, we will. I'm going to do a raid here, so please, um, bear with me. This is the first time I've done a raid. I'm just going to make sure I do it right. So we're gonna raid Zach App, okay, who raided us yesterday. So make sure I do this right here. I've looked up how to do it. Raid. Okay, so before I do this, you all know what I'm about to say. I'm just gonna, you all, for the people that are on chat who are over on Zoom or on Twitch here, never stop resisting. The easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves. Okay, the easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves. Free Palestine, obviously. We need to get rid of the fascist regime. You can't stand in the center. You cannot stand in the center. Okay. The fascists will walk all over you. Lastly, never forget about Chainbreaker because our ancestors have made tons of sacrifices for some of the things we have today. We can't let those sacrifices go to waste. Okay, folks? All right. I know I'm doing it fast today, so let's do it. I'm going to start the raid now. I've never done it before, so we'll see how it works. There we go. Okay, we got 9 viewers rating now. And then all right. Everyone ready? Who's over there on Twitch? Raid now. There you guys go. All right.
And whenever I say anything that might be a bit edgy, I always keep them in the front of my mind.
All right, guys. For everyone else listening, you all have a good rest of your day. I'll come back on later, okay, folks? Love you all. Bye-bye.